Hey, what's good? It's Rotten, and welcome to the MWYD podcast. Man, what y'all doing podcast? The podcast where we tell y'all what we've been doing, watching, playing, reading, etc., 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 and what we think about those things, because we are conceited like that, and I'm just sticking with that. I keep saying I'm going to change it, and it's just what it is, so yeah. I am, once again, I'm Rotten, and with me today is a sack lunch.
It is what it is. What's up, peoples? It's your boy Sack Lunch for another podcast session.
Oh, and then we got a Carnage.
What it do? What it do? It's your boy in the building. What it do?
That's 3 times though. That's what it do.
What it do times 3 combo?
But I mean, what it
3-hit combo.
What it did? I mean, what it did.
What it? Oh, yeah, what it did.
Yeah, what it did.
Past tense.
Yeah,
Right, got to make
past
sure you get
tense,
your past tense
Gotta
properly.
get that past tense
What it
on,
does.
Right.
What it does.
What do it do?
How does it do? What it do?
How did it do? It did what it did when it did what it did when it do what it did.
All right, listen. I lost. Right. Those are bars. By the way, I lost track of what like tense we're in. Are we in past or present or future now? And then I think Gene is going to be on? I'm not sure he's going to be on today. He hasn't replied, so I'm going to assume he's not able to make it. But if he does pop in, we'll be good. Yeah. So, it's been a 3-week break, basically. Last week, I just wasn't able to record. I wasn't feeling it. I had some personal issues come up. Those that know me are probably aware. I'm not going to go into it because it's personal and I don't want to make a big deal out of it. But yeah, I wasn't able to record, so it ended up getting pushed to this week. That's why I'm recording now on looking at the date, the 25th. The 25th of September. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, I don't know the rest. Right, I don't know the rest of the words. I love that song, but I don't know. That's all I got. So yeah, we got it. We can do it. We can definitely be Earth, Wind, and Fire. We got it. Yeah, easily.
Yeah, Earth, Wind, and Carnage.
You can even tell the difference. Earth, Wind, and Carnage. Earth, Wind, and Carnage. That sounds more like a rock band than anything else. Earth, Wind, and Carnage. So, yeah, it'll just be us three right now, but we're going to go ahead and go through what we've done. I got to tell them, so I don't know if you guys want to go first or want me to go first. So I can just go through.
I probably could go first because I'm pretty sure mine's the quickest.
Okay, go ahead. Get the floor.
All right. I'll probably beat you up, man.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you. So over the last 3 weeks, y'all peep this out. This is real. This is real. You know what I'm saying? I ain't done shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
Let me just go and put it out there. I have played a new game, which if you know me, you already know what game it is. Comes out every year. I've been playing NBA 2K22. Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say Madden. I was like,
Nah, I knew it Madden. Nah.
But I've been on that 2K22, which I will tell you right now is
2K22. Okay.
I will say it's been a refreshing experience playing it.
Okay.
It's much better than the past. Yeah, it's much better than the past years. They really tighten up a lot of things. I hope they don't put no gameplay patches out and mess up the game. But right now, where it stands, probably the best 2K I've played in years. in
Okay.
years. Yeah, yeah. I'll go out a whim and say that. Yeah,
Bold
yeah.
claim.
So that game, that's pretty much where I've been. That's what I've
Wait.
been playing the
Okay, hold on.
last.
I have to ask because I
Hmm?
saw this in my Discord. We were talking about it. We actually talking about it on stream on my son's stream the other day because somebody else was talking about it. One of my son's friends was talking about it, and then he showed a video of it. Have
Uh-oh.
you encountered the Allstate, not Allstate, State Farm guy?
Oh God. Oh my God.
What
Multiple
is it?
times.
Steve from State Farm.
Jake from State
Oh,
Farm.
Jake from State
Yeah.
Farm. Yeah.
He's in the game.
Yo, Jake from State Farm. I was like,
He's
who
a
the?
little.
When he said
He's
like
like
it
a
was so
little.
known, we like, I'm like, who the fuck is Jake? I was thinking before.
It's a little quest. Like so basically, my career used to be like a well, I don't know what it is on current gen, but on next gen, it used to be basically like just just an interactive movie cutscenes. That's all it was. But this year, they kind of opened it up to where it's more like RPG-ish in like a sandbox type world. I mean, you can go pretty much anywhere within the city or whatever, um but you get little quests that you go to, whoever, and you play a certain amount of games or do this little challenge or whatever, and you earn quests and EXP points and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, Jake from State Farm is in the game.
Like all
You
good
do get,
neighbors. Sorry.
yeah, and oh my God, oh my
Sorry.
God, and almost every time you get a quest from him or anything, he's always got a reference of being a good neighbor and
Yeah.
all this helpful. Uh, and then you
Like a
even
good
got the nerve
neighbor.
to have the
State Farm is
State
there.
Farm store to where you can buy a State Farm outfit. He gives you
Yeah.
one, and the very first time that you go to him, he gives you the little State Farm shirt and some State Farm joggers. Eh, He's in the game. Yes, he's heavily in the game.
When he said and then when the part the little I think it's the first thing you see in whatever when he said like you gotta have that State Farm drip to represent or something like that. My entire body folded.
Yeah.
My body folded in on itself. I was like, State Farm drip, State Farm drip,
Yeah, it's a real thing in
button
there.
pops. Oh, I'm done. I'm finished, man.
Yeah,
I was
it's got a
finished.
couple of State Farm clothing brand in the game. Yeah, he's in there. Jake from State Farm is in there. State Farm's in there heavily. Um, now you don't have to do those quests. It's optional, but you do meet him early in the game or whatever if you just want to do the quest or whatever. Yeah, he's in there. Um,
Man,
it's weird. It's cringy. Yeah, very cringy. But other than that, it's pretty good game. Pretty
Okay.
solid game. I've been enjoying myself. My career, it's pretty cool because you get to not only do you just play like through your NBA season or whatever with the little side quests, you get to earn your like little quest to get your fashion label, and then you can have a music career that's in there. You earn a music label and all this other stuff. So they got little things to keep you interested. I say it's the best one that I've dealt with for a long time.
okay.
So it was kind of interesting. So I've been playing that, and then the other thing that I've been playing, which I just started, I want to say like 5 days ago, is this game on Android. It's called Raid Boss,
Really, boss. Okay.
and it's pretty damn. Well, I wouldn't say it's just on Android, but it's pretty damn dope. Um, it's simplistic. It's kind of like it's really hard. It kind of tries to mimic an MMO experience.
Yeah.
So basically, it's almost like a gacha game. Well, it has gacha elements, like you recruit people to your your little guild team or whatever, and you got like they actually got roles, like there's the tanks, the light DPS, melee, heavy DPS, like so it's light DPS, which is like your, I guess, your rogue ninja type characters. Then you got your heavy DPS, which is like your warriors or whatever, swordsmen, stuff like that. Then you got your mages, your healers and mages, and then like I think those just those 5 classes. But you just randomly recruit, via like this little recruit ticket that you get, and you just recruit people to your team, and then you gotta go through these small little dungeon areas, and then at the end of most of like once you get to like beat like a few of like you got your chapter 1 world, and then at the very end there's like a raid boss.
Okay.
So you got your people, you get to control like wherever, like you build your team up. Sometimes it's like you might have 6 on a team, like 2 teams of 3 people. It might be 2 teams of 5 people each, depends on the raid boss at the end. And it's really it kind of plays on its own, but you get to control like your main character that you put as the leader. You get to have their like secondary power, like their power that where you can actually make it. You can initiate it anytime, like within the little cooldown effect or whatever. And then like the other people, they have their little powers on the little stage, but they kind of activate it like automatically. So you don't really get to control the other people on your team, but you can control like where your whole team moves at once or whatever,
Gotcha.
like to get
Okay.
them out of like out of harm's way. Like some bosses AOE, so you got to move your whole people out of the way, stuff like that. It's pretty
Hey.
cool. I got hooked on it, and I'm like been playing the hell out of it lately. And it's got so many different like little modes to it, and like things you can unlock. You would something so simplistic is so much shit in it. It's like you got your campaign, then you got this little like this little tower. It's called Evil Tower or whatever, where you have to. This is how you get like EXP points, like so you can level up your characters once they finally like. So basically, how they level up is your account itself. Like right now, my account is at level 34. So all the characters that I have, I can level them up to level 34. So anytime you
Okay.
beat a campaign, you get like a you get this little EXP thing that raises your actual level of your account. And then the characters, you can level them up with these little EXP like little valves or whatever that's in the game. They just like you get EXP valves or whatever, and then you can just kind of distribute through all the characters or whatever. It's pretty cool. It's pretty damn simplistic, but it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. And it's funny, like every time they like finish a raid or whatever, they might have like little conversations as if they were like real people talking to each other.
Oh.
So they'll be like something like, "Oh wow, great! Your guild beat this boss. I love being here." Type shit. They just be
Right.
talking like they're like regular characters. Sometimes even while you're going through the little mission on the map, they'll have small little conversations.
Conversations.
Like if they
Okay.
die, they'll be like, "Oh no," or whatever. It's kind of funny, and it's like a little unique thing that they go through. I think it's pretty cool for a simple game. But
What
yeah,
was
I've
the name
been
of it
playing the
again? I
hell out of
forgot. What's the name of it
it.
again?
It's called Raid Boss.
Raid Ball. Okay, that's different than what I thought. Okay. 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 I thought something else.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. All
It's
right.
not Raid Shadow Legends, if you heard of
That's
that
what I
one,
was
which is
thinking of. Was
popular.
Raid.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So it's different than that.
yeah,
Got you.
yeah.
Raid
It's
Boss.
like it's
Okay.
not like Raid Shadow Legends, or at least I don't think I haven't played Raid Shadow Legends,
No, it doesn't sound like
but
it's the same. It sounds different. Yeah. I haven't played Raid
yeah,
Shadow Legends, but I've
it's
seen it a
different. And
lot. So.
these are like little they're like little character sprites. So they're
Oh.
like
Okay.
2D sprites or whatever. But it's the art is very done. The art is done really well to me, for the little sprites for what it's worth. It's
Right.
like playing It's like playing a Nintendo game in high definition with an
Ooh.
updated sprite kind of like ordeal. Kind of,
That
it
tickles
looks
my
good.
that tickles my fancy. That's
It
that
looks
that's right
good.
there upside my alley. No, I
I
get
should
you.
just,
Yeah.
if I can send you
Oh,
what you
did.
call it.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'll send you a
Oh
screenshot of it.
my.
But it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. I like it.
Okay.
It's like, and it's made by Pizza Club Games. It's funny
Pizza
as hell.
Club.
Pizza Hut,
Nice.
Pizza Hut games.
Pizza Club games. They might. They got.
Pizza Hut games.
I'll be
Pizza Hut
disappointed
Games?
if Pizza Club doesn't eat pizza every day for lunch. The Pizza Club
Oh,
games. If you don't do
it's
it
not.
every week, it's not good.
It's not a true Pizza Club. Man.
This is not a true Pizza Club. It's a pizza
Not true
sometimes
Pizza
club.
Club.
No, that sounds dope. That's pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, pretty fun. But that's pretty much all I've been doing lately. Oh, and the only other thing I did, and this is not like watching any anime or anything. Last week, this is off topic, but
Yeah.
out here they had a Lego convention
Oh.
thing at our civic center. So I just happened to go. Me and the fam just happened to go up there.
Okay.
Man, dope as hell. I felt like a kid all over again in that mug. I
Yo, yeah,
was
I kind of that
in
sound
awe,
hype.
bro. I haven't. I was gonna post some of the pictures up on like my Facebook or IG, but I haven't
Yeah.
done so yet. But man, that mug was dope. They had like this one dude, he had a like they created a Lego replica of Houston, the
Oh
city
wow,
of Houston. They
Oh, pretty
had the
cool.
little Toyota Center and all that stuff. That shit was so clean. I
man.
mean, they had this
They
one
did
that
a
was like a
wait. They did a
whole
whole replica
town.
of the entire city.
I would say majority of the city, like you see, like
Well,
there's
but
the
yeah, but
main,
like they like
yeah, like
yeah,
certain districts of the city and stuff
right.
like that. Yeah,
That's hype. That's
they it
damn.
was it was pretty dope. Matter of fact, I'll put it in Discord and show y'all some of the pictures I had. They had this castle that they did. Man, I'm like, I was like, I swear I was like a kid all over again. This one dude had this. I couldn't get a whole entire. I was trying to get a video, but he made this whole entire city kind of like in rural
Damn.
towns that had
Yeah.
a train going around the whole entire thing,
Yo.
and the train was actually moving around the whole entire thing. And these are just Legos and stuff like that. They had a train going around. I was following the train, but there's so many people in the way I couldn't actually, videotape the whole entire track it went through. It was huge. It literally took like I want to say it took almost like so you got your wide, like you get certain conventions or whatever you go, you got them big wide tables,
Right.
the rectangle tables. So it literally probably had about, I want to say of those, 5 or 6 of those together. That's how long this whole entire thing was.
Damn. Yeah, if you want to post it in the
It
Discord,
was
I can show it on it because I'm recording my screen right now, so I can put them up there too. I mean, if you don't mind being
matter
on,
of fact.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't mind trying to post it on Discord. I'll put it on there. Hold on, let me get back to it because
if you don't mind the millions and millions of people out there seeing the picture,
the
all our
millions
the
Other
millions
rock fans.
and millions, right? Or the millions,
millions
my millions of
and
subscribers
millions.
and millions of viewers that we have,
Millions.
definitely.
Other
The
man, what you doing,
millions.
podcast subscribers?
Right. The millions and millions of MWYD podcast subscribers that I thought I had and I wish I had.
It's all right. We'll get there one day. That's all that
One
matters.
day. One day. Yeah,
One
hopefully.
day, one
This
day.
thing but yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing the last
Yeah.
couple of weeks. So I'm gonna
Sounds
try
pretty
to figure
eventful.
out how to get back to the screen here, and I'll post them up in the
Okay.
Discord.
Yeah, no rush. Just when you get a chance.
But
So no big. No, I can just show it at some point and just pop it in. Yeah. Cool, man.
yeah, but other than that, that was pretty dope. That was the highlight of my 3 weeks.
It's pretty dope.
I had crazy fun there. It was pretty dope.
That's a pretty goddamn good highlight. Shit, I would like to be on that. Cool then. X, you want to go? Do you want me to go?
Yeah, I go.
Okay.
I'm pretty short, man. I've been pretty busy with like working, whatnot. But I just finished season 1 of Tokyo Revengers.
Yo, I heard a lot of good shit about that.
Season finale was pretty good, pretty spicy, man. So it makes a lot of people are like, oh god, why did they do it? Cliffhanger kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
But it's pretty good. It makes you. It's like not a frustrating cliffhanger, but it's like one of those ones like you're ready for the second season. See
Right,
what,
right.
It was about. So, yeah, that last episode was nice, man. It was something different. A lot of changes with the future and everything else like that. So, again, if you guys are into like your time travel type anime, and you haven't checked out one that's more modern, then check out Tokyo Revengers.
Oh, we've talked about that
otherwise-
one before, haven't we?
Yeah, I brought out like talk about Steins Gate and things like that.
Yeah, we talked
I mean-
about this. We talked about this one before. This is the one where the guy like goes back and he tries to change something to change somebody else's death or something, right?
Yeah, well, try to prevent. Yeah,
Or
try to
yeah.
prevent deaths. Like,
Yeah.
the standard
Okay.
trope with Japanese main characters.
Right.
They're kind of like neats, or my life kind of sucks in the beginning.
Right.
I'm 25, 28. My life kind of like trash. His life wasn't the worst, but his life was just like real basic.
Right.
Working at a video store, things like that, and then something, death happens, and then something happens to where it triggers. Yeah, of course, a lot of like series, they don't explain how the trigger actually works. Go
Right,
back
supposed
to
to
the
be a
past.
mystery. Yeah, it's like supposed to be a
Yeah,
mystery. You solve.
is what it is. The triggers is what it is, and goes back to the past to where he's in middle school. The thing that gives me a toker of Revengers is that it's about middle school students. These people. I'm gonna say the N
You
word.
said
Black
you
ones come out.
said N word. We've never had a problem saying N word.
A or hard R. Just kidding.
Yeah, okay.
So these dudes, man, it's like you look at them, and these cats are. It's like obviously these high school. You're like the Japanese have Japanese manga have a weird perception of middle school and high school. They don't know how to determine the difference. I swear to God, like you look at these guys, you're like, okay, maybe like Takamichi and his friends could be like 8th grade, whatever. Saying, maybe 8th, 9th grade. You could look at them. But everybody else, man, they're like, obviously, like, junior, senior level, if not.
Right. Go ahead.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like you look at these guys, you're like, man, but they do some, like, middle schoolers, even middle schoolers in the States are not that, like, in gangs are not even that aggressive. Like, they're aggressive, but then these guys come out and bashing skulls in and stabbing and all this stuff and riding motorcycles. Like, I'm like, dang, I'm sure that you don't have a license for that.
They're movies. They're like movie gangsters. What you're saying?
Yeah.
Where it gets to the point. That's always funny when they like play up like the. I mean, I'm sure that stuff does happen to an extent, but it's like they play them up to be so bad and so ridiculously over like aggressive and shit for like no damn reason.
Oh, they're so scared. Like, I'll never be scared of a middle schooler. Walk, man, I don't care how tough you think you are. If I'm a grown ass man, ain't no middle schooler gonna intimidate me. Like, they're senior, year or something like that. When they got man body, they might be a little something different. I have to reevaluate my fist range. Okay, I can probably jab them pretty good. 1-2, you know what I'm saying? 2-piece combo with the coleslaw. You know what I'm saying? They make you think about that kind of stuff. Middle school, heck no, man. If you don't get your little bitty ass out my face.
Guy, if I get this little Happy Meal ass combo, fuck out of here.
It's like that. It's like I can see if the setting was like 1950s Japan.
Oh wow!
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can definitely see middle schoolers going around driving a little moped, little motorcycles. Right. They didn't really have to have license back then, probably.
Right.
So I can see, but 2000 Japan, no way. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Other than that, though, man, they get real tense and stuff like that. So it's a nice little series if you like time travel. Okay. It's definitely the most modern out of all of them that I've seen so far, other than Steins Gate. You're saying Steins Gate's pretty modern, and they go back, 12, 10 years in there on time travel, but they stay pretty modern.
Right.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything. Oh, okay. I have been watching this. It seems like a Netflix original, but I watched it on Crunchyroll. It's called Cestus, and it's like because Netflix did all the 3D anime.
Right.
And
yeah.
So it's like set in ancient Greece or Rome, or whatever. Rome, and it's about gladiator named Cestus, who starts off pretty, obviously weak, and then he didn't want to be a gladiator. You know how gladiators are usually either captured people from other tribes and countries, or they're like slaves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so he got captured and was pretty much set to be raised as a fighting slave, and the only way to get out as a fighting slave is to win a certain amount of fights. You know what I'm saying? You gotta win like 100 fights or matches, something like that, to gain your freedom.
Right.
Some junk like that. And so it's a journey on so far to do that, and he's taught by a guy who actually won his freedom, and they use boxing, and so it's okay. You know what I'm saying, for what it is. It's it's nothing like special.
Right.
I'm already started, so I'm gonna watch it through to see how it goes. Right now, he's kind of conflicted about his training, like why is he training with a pick? And I didn't know that gladiators trained by using a pickaxe hitting the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Like to build muscle and to build like dexterity and stuff like
that.
Yeah,
I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, and then they're like sometimes the fighting slaves would be they'd be used to build roads, and that's how they also got like even though they weren't working directly under the engineers, their masters make them go out there and do it every once in a while because it gave them training and like a workout. Yeah. So it's kind of neat learning you learn some historical stuff here and there, which is kind of neat. I like kind of stuff like that. But so far I'm only like episode 6, 7, so I'm working my way through it to see if it'd be worth it to watch all the way through.
Okay.
And then let's see. I'm still watching that one series. I forgot what it was. The title, the one with the guy who's created. I told you he started as a rock and he became a dog.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I gotta catch up on that. I think I'm behind like an episode or 2 on that. I'm not sure if they finished already. It's a lot of episodes. Going back to Dragon Quest Die. They finally hit that moment at one point. They finally hit that one point where they got B team, they got the C team off. And I was like, boy, like you see, like they got the bench warmers coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? But they still have like,
it's your turn. Come in, it's your turn.
we need to animate. But I've been animating years. I don't care. Here you go. Here's a paper. Here's a pencil. Get to work. You said copy best you can. I don't care if the features match or the fingers have 6. You know what I'm saying? On one hand, it doesn't matter. We'll use the special A effects to make those look better. So it's like, I got to like get a point where like the graphic, like the special effects were like spicy, but then everything was like. Now it's back on track to the good stuff.
Okay.
And so, they brought back the main squad. So I gotta. Right now they're pretty much fighting their the Dark Lord's version of coolers.
Okay.
Which are like these because Ori Halcom is like one of the top medals in any RPG. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, it's
Ori Halcom. Yep, it's Ori Halcom.
Yeah, it's like vibranium and stuff.
Basically.
Adamantium in Marvel. Yeah, it's like that. And so.
It's Ori Halcom, and there's another metal that's always used. It starts with an M, and I can't think of it. But yeah, Ori Halcom is definitely the one.
I know you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
Yeah, it's like some of it. It's like MI or something. I can't remember what it is. It starts with an M. I have to look it up and think about it later.
It's like those 2 metals. Like you get those in your armor, man. You're good.
Right. Yeah. I know, especially in Final Fantasy. I know it's always like, oh yeah.
So that's how it is. It's so like very few items in that universe contain it, and the Dark Lord granted pretty much that series King Piccolo like five chess pieces of that's made from it, and he turned them into like pawns. Like obviously you have the pawn, you have the brook, the bishop, and they're all like super strong. Your new goons.
Right.
And so right now I'm at that part where when they're fighting them, like those guys are stronger than the Dark Lord's original top minions.
Mithril.
Oh wow.
That's what it is. Mithril's the one. Yeah. I just looked it up. I was like, what is it? I know it is. Mithril.
I was gonna say Mithra, but I wasn't sure. Mithra? It's Mithril, yeah. I knew it had a myth in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like those like really strong. God dang. You got any vibranium on you? But that's how that's pretty much how it is. So I'm at that part right now. So I mean, I give it props for being like 60-something episodes and still holding on pretty good and not faltering a lot like a lot of 60-episode series, because you don't get that many often. You know what I'm saying? That range that far. You know what I'm saying? They either stop at 12 or 13 season 1. That's the new trend. The new trend is
like 12, 13 seasons.
We have 27 episodes to give you.
We'll split it in half.
We're going to split it in half because we want to make sure we get our money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we want to spread it across, which is a good.
I can't hate. I mean, it makes sense. And I actually kind of like shows that, like, I've grown to like shows more that have, like, they don't go super long and, like, have, like, that kind of 13 episode split or 12 episode split for a season. It's like it's 12 episodes for season 1, then 12 for season 2, and then maybe 12 for season 3 or whatever, and that kind of deal. So I feel that it's just but it does get annoying. It's like you can definitely tell when they split a season and a half. You can definitely tell. Like that was definitely still the same season y'all animating.
Like I don't mind like if it's like that and it's like 2 to 3 month breaks between the seasons. Yeah. Like how American TV is. But unfortunately Japanese anime doesn't work that way all the time. It's like you'll get 12 episodes and 3 years later you'll finally get season 2.
Right.
Like by that time you've done forgot moved on. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like I want to get back to it, but I got 4 new ones to watch. You know what I'm saying? So they keep you bombarded with tons of anime, which to me like lessens the effect of what could be possibly good anime because they're all just they're McDonald's conveyor belting them. And so,
McDonald's conveyor belting them.
Like they're sitting there, you're just going through, and they got McDoubles galore, and it's tunking up
McDoubles.
After a while, McDoubles gets tired. You're like, man, I'm tired of McDoubles. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to like you want that McDouble to turn into a quarter pounder, double quarter pounder. Like so sometimes it's like
McDoubles.
You have a show going on good, especially with the company. You're like, man, make the season 2. Like,
right,
they got a new series coming out, and then all of a sudden, like show like Claymore and stuff like that, it could have been good if they would have finished it. But they're like, nah, we're gonna stop here. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, because Claymore was a long ass going manga. I ended up finishing Claymore. Now I remember that was pretty dope. I never did watch that.
You have a lot of information left. I'm like,
right.
They'll introduce something and they show half the doggone manga. Well, it didn't get the buzz. Well, yeah, you know why they get the buzz? You probably released it when all the big ones are out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta find times release when the big shots aren't releasing stuff. Like when you have your every year there's always a new big 3 or a big 5 or something like that.
Right.
You know, you gotta like wait till they go out of like off their season and then you bring up the new stuff. Then you're like, oh, here we go, and then so that can get buzz. You know what I'm saying? That's how a lot of other shows like How I Got Reincarnated as a Slime and all those other ones start getting buzz because they're coming out when like AOT was on a hiatus and or on their little break. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. But they rush AOT through like. Again, McDoubles in a small fry. They push the AOT out like Happy Meals. Like, we're gonna finish it like that. When you get to the point where you're caught up to the manga, it's like,
oh yeah, it's like either time for filler or it's time to push out some.
Because it's like they're like pumping them out. And you're like, oh man, it's like it's like I don't know how to feel about it. Like when you do it that way. It's like, man, give it time for the manga to finish, or at least the manga could, like, even if the manga's not finished, let the manga get like a whole like couple of chapters ahead before you start pumping out episodes. One Piece is already caught up.
Oh yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, I heard about that. Like, it's caught up. Yeah, which is wild because One Piece is such a big series. Like, damn, how'd you catch up? Shit.
they're just pumping them out because they're bringing out B team stuff. They're doing
true.
Yeah, they're not always like. You know, the classical ones, like everything was like almost the A team stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like all the early arcs, like Alabasta and all of them, like it was all top quality stuff. Like, no, don't get me wrong. One Piece has pretty good quality for pumping out McDonald's style. They got solid quality, but sometimes when they get to like base scenes and fight scenes, then you can see the C team come in, and that's because they're caught up to they pump the episodes out. Like weekly, I can say bi-weekly. They're pumping them out weekly.
Weekly, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, you're really catching up. Even with filler, they still catch up. Sometimes I feel like, how many episodes have you reached? 3? Like, it's like Sunday and Saturday, or Sunday, Wednesday, Monday, Saturday. It seems like that's what they're doing.
Part of it is that the manga right now, and at least for me, the manga is dragging these battles out really long. And I feel like a lot of these stuff that you're doing is you could have done that like in way less pages or like panels, man. Cause like I'm honestly just getting. I mean, I'm not going to cut too much into this because I can talk about this later on my time. But I'm getting kind of tired of. I'm getting kind of irritated with One Piece's current manga or current arc. It's finally getting to a point now, like, oh, okay, some shit's really happening. Here we go. Here we're back here now. Because like for a while, just like here's this one more piece of the battle for like 19 pages, and I'm like, bro, all right.
It's pacing a little weird. I think one thing, like I think for people who've been following One Piece since the beginning of time, they feel that way. Yeah, I can see why. Like a lot of new people, they're like excited because it's like, oh, so many episodes, so they binge watch it like a zombie.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, this is great. You know what I'm saying? But if you've been following since like early thousands, I can see the feeling of exhaustion.
Yeah, I've been in and out on it for the longest time. We already in like the thousands on the manga, and I'm like, all right, man, look, even Naruto only went like 500 or something. I'm like, look, but I get it, it's good. I'm just like, man,
he's smart. He's smart. Like I'll give Oda this. He's smart with it to where
he is. For sure.
It's like arcs may seem a bit repetitive, but he throws something in there to make them slightly different. You know, it's like the whole goon get over. Like, we got the goon, we got the goon killers. We gotta get them to
right.
They finally gave Nico Robin a fight scene.
Yeah, which is like
forever since she ever fought something, and they actually buffed her up and gave her some new ability. It's like, thank God. You know, so she's just sitting there sipping her Mai Tai, reading books all day, and then they finally actually throw her back in because everybody was like, well, Nico Robin, she's part of the crew. She don't ever do anything.
Right.
Sure, she didn't take down the soldiers anymore. She was just chilling.
Just chill,
So
right.
it was nice to see her actually fight. Like the chapter before last, whatever.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that was
kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, of course, seeing somebody fight, Kaido other than Luffy, you know what I'm saying, and holding him off is pretty cool. With Odin, his daughter, Odin, you know what I'm saying, fighting him and, holding off till Luffy gets better. Stuff like that. I can appreciate it other than, like, but Luffy's one of those guys, one of those main characters that always get his shit smushed in.
Right.
That's one thing I would say I do like.
I agree. I like that too. Yeah.
He's like the only guy that gets his wig split, and it's like everybody wants like these Goku-esque Superman hero. Like,
I'm so
main
done
characters.
with them. I'm good.
Those Saitamas that I can't get smacked, and so I'm gonna beat you up easily. I might get beat up for like 10 seconds, and then I just come back and I had this hidden transformation you didn't know about. Here we go.
Right.
And bam! And it's all of a sudden like that was it. With Luffy had transformation and still get his stuff split.
Right.
Like when he fought the guy with the mochi fruit from Cake Island. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That guy whooped his ass, man.
Yeah.
He wasn't even a man. He wasn't even Big Mom.
Right.
He was kicking Luffy's ass. Like, I'm like, man. I'm like, wow, he's a goon. Like the main character doing this. Okay, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, no,
I'm trying to
agree.
make it. You know what I'm saying? So there's some things like right now, like. Everybody's hyped because they're going more into. He's hinting at lore, because we haven't had Zoro lore in forever, like 10 years, man. Since he got the swords, you know, saying the special samurai swords and stuff like that from I would say what the Zombie Island, Thriller Bark, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got the swords and stuff like the special swords. And you get a little lore, but now it's like they're hinting at him being from Wano. You saying, which makes the most sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, looking at his father and things like that, possible father, and maybe some other lore, it's kind of neat to finally get some. You know what I'm saying? That's what he should be doing, is kind of hitting that, like, some other lore. Kind of like when they did the Big Mom arc, and he went into Sanji's background. Right. That was nice.
That was dope. That was actually pretty good.
That was really cool to go back and actually, like, see what Sanji was before he got onto that rock with the chef. You saying?
Right.
Because you didn't know what his life was about at all. You said, he ran away from home. He was stranded. You didn't know he was rich. You didn't know nothing. You just kid sitting there with the chef guy and whatever. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of nice. And he already had prior fighting experience. This chef kind of hooked him up with the leg stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I like that he hits back at that, but at the same time, he does make a lot of the battle scenes or the arc. He extends it by these goon fights. You know what I'm saying? A lot of goon fights. A lot of like, I just came across something, cliffhanger, more goon fight.
Yeah, and that's kind of where definitely.
So, let's see, what else? Manga caught up with Black Clover. Black Clover to me, like, I feel like it's one of those series because Black Clover is the amalgamation of all the shonen ever created in life. It's like it is. Yeah, it's Fairy Tail with Bleach with Naruto. It's like all mixed into one. And to me, that tires me more than One Piece. And I think it's because like they still go plot armor and power friendship crap. And and sometimes it's okay. And sometimes I'm like, man, you guys should be able to beat these guys. And all of a sudden they're like, friendship and then power up. And I'm like, oh my god, here we go.
Well, I mean, with they're fighting right now, I can see how, because these devils will be so strong. I guess my frustration, I won't say my frustration, but with Black Clover was kind of annoying with me. I'm not somebody that necessarily cares about power friendship. I just know it's a shonen trope anyway, so I'm always expecting it. Yeah. But my problem with Black Clover right now, at least, as opposed to before, because I've always liked Black Clover, this current arc. It's another one I feel like it's dragging out.
It's stretched.
Yeah, it's like every battle, like especially even the battle with Magicula.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that one just went on just long and long because I got another. It's one the way they write battles, and this is kind of a shonen thing in general, but it kind of annoys me. But particularly with like Black Clover lately, it's like everything like we're doing it, but look at my secret power. Oh, now they're doing it, but look at our secret power. I've been training. Look, I'm doing it, but look at my secret power. I beat your training, and you can't.
You don't realize that I'm doing it.
Right, and then finally it gets to a point. And then I guess, and then like with the last one with Magicula, like the thing that got me, like we built Noelle up all that way, and then brought our brother back and everything, and it was like, oh, but look, we still need to have Asta come in and like really solve this. And I'm like, it's the Dragon Ball Z syndrome. I don't hate Asta at all. He's one of my favorite characters.
I'll say this. Like Asta at least didn't play a big part in that fight, so I'll give it that. You're saying,
yeah, but it's just like I was really hoping that he would be off doing his own thing for his fight and not having to go around and save others or whatever. Because that's my problem with Shonen in general, is that they have so many characters that they build up and like they can't fend for themselves. It's really frustrating watching them. In any other story, like if characters are at that point, they can kind of like at least deal with their own battles. But like a lot of the time when you have that, like kind of what we talked about with before, where like they always got that Goku syndrome, where it's like, oh, everybody gotta wait for Goku to show up because they can't fend for themselves without Goku, and it's annoying because it's like, well, then why do these other characters even fucking exist? Like, what's the point?
Well,
like, what am I following? I get it, but it's still annoying.
I think that Black Clover, I think
it's better about it than some other.
Yeah, it's better about it. Yeah, because like a lot of Asta gets his ass worked.
He does.
Lot.
He does.
You say, and so in order for him to win the last battle, he had to form that contract with the devil. That one devil he had. To say, and so he had to form, because otherwise he wouldn't have done shit, and he still struggled. You know what I'm saying? When he came in, he sat back and let what's her name, the one that confessed herself in her mind. All of a sudden she's Hinata. She's doing Hinata. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like I'm in love with Asta. And I'm like,
oh
God.
Yeah.
And we all kind of
Noelle.
Yeah, Noelle. Yeah, that's right, Noelle. We all kind of knew that because
that was so obvious. It's like, oh no,
Tsundere kind of act like you Baxter and Asta stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, she call him names. She's like, I'm a noble, and then he's gonna earn her respect, which is common. He's gonna sit there. Right. He's gonna fight hard. A nobody, a country bumpkin. She comes from a rich family, but she had a similar experience because she was also neglected and ostracized by her own family. So she gets this bond. It's like, yeah, me and Asta, we and Black Bulls worked hard. I'm in love. And I'm like,
right,
the power of love.
I will say for Noelle's part, I do like the fact that you find out that the real reason her brother shunned her wasn't because of like what you always thought it was, that he was an asshole. It's because he was trying to keep her from being involved so that she wouldn't get hurt. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like a lot of those scenes now from before make sense now. The way he acted. So I'm like, I like that.
But he's the only one out the siblings. The other ones I don't think knew.
Yeah,
but the other ones are just assholes.
Well, yeah, they're assholes. But like him, like okay, for him in this situation, I'm like, that makes sense. Yeah.
You can kind of get a hint of that earlier when he's kind of like he's shutting her, but at the same time he's cold, but he's not like ruthless with her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's more like telling her to stay out. You're weak. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, why is he kind of downgrading her? But it seemed like he was kind of protecting her, and I got a hint of that. Yeah. He might be of like Byakuya and Rukia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you say that kind of relationship. Rukia wants to do them. Byakuya's like he really doesn't like hate her. It's actually almost the same type of relationship. You think about it.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Because Byakuya's whole goal and objective was to protect Rukia because of her sister. He was with her sister.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And the whole time he made it seem like she was weak and trash and stuff like that. And he figure out, oh boy, see what I'm saying? Black Clover be ripping, boy. Black Clover be oh boy. It do. It's a bite. Even his demeanor is Byakuya. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the whole cold, calm, collected, the cold, the looking, and then his move is kind of like,
yep.
It's like, oh boy, instead of swords, it's metal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have a little bleachy here and there before the new season comes out.
Yeah, there's no problem with that. Like, as long as we do not make, obviously you're making your own twist on it. There's nothing. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I think people kind of get caught up in that when it comes to anything creative. They're like, oh, well, this thing is like that, therefore it's biting. And it's like, I mean, it's nice to like point it out and sometimes have fun with it, but at the same time, like everything's gonna bite. Like if you're a creator, you're gonna. Let me tell you, as a writer, as a writer, as a character designer, everything you ever create is gonna already have probably been done or be similar to something else.
That's his art, period.
Right, it's just how it's gonna be. And so, especially when you're doing storytelling, what really counts is like how you present the story you're telling differently from somebody else. It's like if you tell the exact same story, aka plagiarizing, then that's one thing. But if you're if you have elements from a story or from from something else that people can compare to, one that gives you an idea what your audience is like. Oh, the people that like this will like my stuff, or people that like that will like my stuff, or I like this stuff and that's what I'm writing because I enjoy it. So therefore, people that also enjoy that will get something from it. That's a plot. That's a positive. So that's definitely cool. I think sometimes people do get caught up in that idea of like, oh, this is just like Dragon Ball. See, this is like, yeah, so it's not. Yeah. I mean, as long as it's not like committing like some egregious sin, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. But yeah,
as long as it's not like completely like you said, a ripoff.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, because everything's bitten. You know what I'm saying, from the time
to a certain point. Yeah,
of ancient storytelling and art to now. Very rarely. Now you do get original. You know what I'm saying, that's how like with art, era changes happen. Someone made something that's totally different. You know what I'm saying, and then obviously you have a new era of whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with like Shonens, or same thing with like B Shoujo, anything. There's always someone who sets the trend, and then everybody's like follows the trend.
Right.
Because that trend has never been done before. You're like, oh, I've never seen shit like this before. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? And then then everybody kind of makes their own. Just like with isekai. You know what I'm saying? You know, you kind of had isekai before. No one really called it that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like think about like Dot Hack Sign and Lane, Serious Experiments Lane.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You already had it, but no one called it that. All of a sudden, someone branched up with a really strong isekai, and it's like, there we go. You know,
right.
And then it becomes like the standard. You know what I'm saying? Because we already had isekai back then.
Yeah.
And the new gen guys don't know that. They're like, oh, this guy's a modern. No. Let's go ahead and pull up the Dot Hack.
Right, yeah. On that too, a couple of things is like, yeah, for sure, and I think that's a big thing that people don't recognize too, is that a lot of the stuff that you think is like brand new or like, oh my god, this is a new thing that's really taking over and it's like everybody's doing it. Like it's been done before. It's just that this is the one that blew up and made it popular. I don't know which isekai really did it for the current brand or the current trend, but I know that there's like you said, this kind of story has existed before. It's not something new. Whether it's like the dying and being reincarnated to a different world, or it's just traveling to a different world, like that's been done before, repeatedly throughout history. There's stories about that, and as a storytelling device, it's a bit easier because you don't have to explain everything. Like you can use the main character to explain things that they're seeing in this new world rather than have to like. It's easy to get and having a narrator, or like it's easy to have the character themselves experience these things new, at the same time the reader is, because it's their first time there too. Whereas if you're trying to tell like the story I'm writing right now, my main character is a citizen of that current world, and so it's a lot harder. And I'm telling the story from first person, so it's a lot harder to sometimes let the reader experience that world for themselves without telling them stuff, if that makes sense. And without making it feel like I have to make sure the character doesn't feel like they're throwing out expose just to, or not expose, what's the word I'm looking for? Not expose, that's not the right word. Expedition is not the right word either. It starts with an E. I know it does, and I hate when my brain does this. I have the word exposition. That's the word. So it's not just a bunch of exposition, just a bunch of word dump like, well, here's how the world works. This is yada, yada, yada. But if you do an isekai, we have a character that's brand new to it. You can explain that world through their eyes and how they're seeing it for the first time and how it differs from our current world or whatever. And it's a lot, I won't say it's a lot easier, but it's easier to be able to like do that in a natural way, because now it's essentially like, I was also in your world, but now I can tell you what this world looks like through my eyes. But if you have a character that is of that world, or that is from that time period, whatever the case may be, it's a lot harder to have them explain things in their tone and not sound like exposition. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so makes sense. And so I think that's one of the reasons that genre blew up too, because like especially like you see a lot in anime, but in light novels in particular, like I buy light novels quite a bit, and that, at least in my eyes, like light novels for isekai has become a thing that's like huge. There's just a ton of them.
Yeah, there's plenty. Yeah.
And and that's the thing too, is like even though you may have isekai, you also have subgenres. So yeah, it might be isekai, but there's isekai that are like romance stories, or isekai that are like historical stories, or isekai that are like there's different stuff in those genres. I think the one that gets the most hate is the like the harem ones, or the ones that let like really evil fuckers come back and live like their best lives, which I don't like those either. It was like, I was a mass murderer in my past life. Oh, I get to come back and do more mass murders? Sweet. I'm the main character. Sympathize with me. No, not. I'm good. I don't need to live out your war fantasy. I'm all right with that. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, just on that note, yeah, like stuff that's been done before. It's not like there's no. I don't say there's no original. Like I said, there can be stuff that comes out that's original, or at least has an original take on something. But and then that like informs the rest of the trend. Yeah, for sure. You'll see like a lot of people jump on it because it's like it's a popular thing, and a lot of times too, just like if it's something that's popular that just blew up, it might not be an idea of like just jumping on a popular trend. It might be a fact of like, I wanted to write this thing, I didn't know how. This isekai came out that was different, and it made me realize I can write something like that too. Or I can feel okay doing that.
It gave them a set formula.
Yeah,
they can work off of.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you have so many of how my time as a defense warrior, my adventure as a healer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you get a lot of those because they see the formula and I got it. And
right.
They already thought about it, or they read something like, "What if I make my own version of it?"
Right.
So they go off that.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Great, which is nothing wrong with it, but it does oversaturate.
It does oversaturate. There's a different point.
I feel like it takes away from maybe it takes away from all the artists because there's so much of it that makes it hard for you to find a.
Oh, for sure. So to kind of my own point, that's another problem too. Is just that when you have something that does take off like that, if you're independent, it doesn't. I mean, you can kind of get away from it because you control your own, your own product. Even though it may be hard to sell what you want to sell if it's not the same genre. But the problem comes in if you're not independent, you work for a company, especially like in the comic industry and the manga industry. Whatever's popular, you're probably gonna have to do something that's similar to it, or like work on something and especially with manga, like the editors will be like, well, why don't you do this because this is what's popular right now. And it's like, well, I guess I got to do that. So if I want to have this, if I don't want to have my manga in next week, I got to do this. Otherwise, you're gonna get that manga truncated hard as hell. You be like, I got this, sir. I have this like 20 episode idea for the ending. Yeah, you're going to finish that in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks finished, buddy.
Yeah, 2 weeks finished. Let's rush this battle and jump to the future.
we need volume 1 finished in 2 weeks. Wow.
Right. Or the worst one is like, I got this great ending, everybody's loving it. I got this idea I want to do for like next year. Your manga's been cut. We're not gonna put any more money for that.
Oh, yeah.
I can end it in 2 weeks. You got one. I guess we're doing a 40-page episode with a fucking jump to the future ending. Here we go.
Oh, please.
Not even. Actually, I wouldn't think about Bleach in that sense. I was thinking about fucking History Strongest Disciple. That shit will forever hurt me up. Because Kenichi was clearly not done. And I was so sad about that. You know what? Let's not do that. Go ahead and finish yours. Because I don't want to be going off.
All right. Yeah. All right. So, let's see. I'm trying to think of other mangas. I'm a little behind some things. Then I just finished. Let's go to live action. All right. So, live action. I just finished Squid Game, and I think that was pretty neat. If you ever seen series like Kaiji, you know what I'm saying? Then you'll like Squid Game.
Squid Game, okay.
The Squid Game, for you, Jay, it might be a little too squeamish.
Okay, no, I'm good. Then I ain't gonna worry about it.
Yeah, it's because like Kaiji, the whole idea.
Carry on.
The whole idea of it is like, okay, with Kaiji is like, it's based on people who like gamble in a sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like the precursor to like shows like what's it called? Kakaguri. You saying?
Okay.
Like Kakaguri is less gruesome. You might get a finger chopped off, or they might break a hand, or something like that. But it's in high school. But obviously, Kaiji is adults, and the main character is like pretty much not like a scumbag, but he's like he doesn't have good luck, and he continues to gamble, and they give him the opportunity to relinquish his debt by joining these games. Okay, so they sit there and they pile in, herd in all these people in debt, and then they introduce these games, and it's ran by this real rich guy, and the games are like it could be anywhere from like tic-tac-toe to tug-of-war, whatever. Okay, but and the winners get money at the end. You say go through the games. So the whole concept is used in Squid Game, but it's Korea, and the main character is he got divorced from his wife. His wife divorced him, left him, because he was like one of those guys who would go out there and like splurge his money, you know what I'm saying, and try to find, get rich quick schemes, whatever. But he used to work. He had a job and he lost his job, and so he had to find different means to make money. But they are not the best means, and they're not 100% guaranteed. So he ended up living with his mom and his daughter, and his wife moved on, met some other guy, right?
Okay.
But he starts off with him, taking his daughter to get something to eat, and he gets her a gift for her birthday, and he pulls out his gun, and she's like, I don't think mom's gonna like these. He's like, what? Really? And it's like a squirt gun, though. It looks like it's one of those guns like you click it in a lighter.
Okay.
It's like one of those.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it looks like a real gun, but it's not. And then she's like, oh, wow. He's like, yeah. And he's like, but I'll get you something better next year. And he's like, oh, like next year? Then she pretty much explains that he finds out that his ex-wife is planning to move away to America with her new boyfriend and a daughter. And he doesn't like that. You know what I'm saying? He's like, what? She needs to stay here in Korea, and I want her, pretty much go over there and forget about me and forget how to, speak Korean, all this stuff, right?
Right.
And so he goes around, he tries to find ways to get money. He's not doing very well. And he meets a guy at a train station who tells him that he, hey, let's play a game. He's like, I don't know, man. He's like, hey, if you win this game, I'll give you like 10,000 won. He's like, oh shit, okay. So they play this game where they, slap this paper off the ground, whatever. And every time he lost, he got slapped.
He got slapped.
He's like, so his thing is like every time he's like if I win, if you win, you get the 10,000 won or whatever. If I win, I get slapped as hard as I want. I get to slap the shit out of you.
Right.
He's like, okay, sure. He does it. All of a sudden, the guy's like, whack. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, that's the rules. He's like, do it again. And they play. He's slapping the shit out. Whack. Make characters losing. And then he's like, he's like, I don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And then he ends up winning finally after like getting slapped like 50, 60 times. He wins.
Okay.
And he's like, take that, motherfucker. And he's like, all right, man. He's like, you like that? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, there's more where that came from. You know what I'm saying? So he gives him this like business card with like PlayStation symbols on it. You know what I'm saying? X triangle circle. And on the back is like this location. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so that's like, it's cool. It's kind of neat because that's their way of getting suckers to get in there. And so he goes in, he goes to the location, he gets in his vehicle, a white van kind of thing, and they gas him. Right? And he wakes up and they're like, what the heck? And they're like, and he sees all these people there and they're all wearing these outfits. He's in an outfit too, like, not like prisoner, but like unique, like, I guess you say prisoner outfit. They have numbers.
Yeah.
And they go through the first game. I'm trying to remember. It's I want to say it's red light, green light. And they go to this room, and all these guys, all the soldiers around there are wearing these pink outfits with these PlayStation symbols on their foreheads. And you don't know what they're for at the beginning. It's like, why do they got? Some have X's, some have squares and triangles. Obviously, it's like a hierarchy system. But
right,
you're like,
yeah.
What? And they all got SMGs. Like, you can't leave, right?
Right, of course.
So they explain the rules of what's going on, and they're like, hey, before they go to red light, green light, they explain the rules of these games, and they bring this disco ball clear thing down, and they put some money in it, and it's like these stacks of money, and they tell them like each person is worth this amount. You know what I'm saying? And the loser has gets to swap. Obviously, their money, the money from their pot goes into that ball for the main winner. And so everybody's like, oh yeah, we got this shit. Yeah. You got drunks, you got like pretty much the girls will probably hookers and stuff like that, whatever.
Okay.
And so they go into the door for the first game, and it's like this big ass room, and it looks like kind of like a deserty room, and you have this like robotic chick on the far end explaining the rules, and everybody's like, okay. And then all of a sudden she's like, if you get caught going in the red, then you're disqualified. And so everybody's like, cool, whatever. And so she counts down, and nobody moves, right? They're like, I don't want to do this shit. And then all of a sudden, so she's a light in the motherfucker. Like, no. What happened was, they explained the game and said people will die. And they're like, oh, no. One guy tries to run, and she turns around and snipes in the back of the head. Bah! And people start panicking.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And everybody who's running towards the doors gets fish filleted, dog. They're like, dog, Swiss cheese.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, and so people are standing there like, you got to play the game. So the only way to progress is to move forward. So this old guy starts to move forward, real old guy. He has like 80, 70, 80. He starts moving forward, and he's like, red light, and he keeps going. And everybody's like, fuck this, let's move forward. And so you start seeing him move forward, and some people occasionally are getting popped, you know what I'm saying, because they get caught.
Yeah.
Some people are like pushing others and stuff, or they trip, and they ain't mean to trip. Nope, it's a wrap.
Right.
So it's pretty gruesome, and they get through that. They go to the second game. I forget what it was. And then one of the guys like said, you know, what if we all agree? You know, he asked the guy running the game on the intercom. He's like, what if we all agree not to, like, you know, do this anymore? And he said, because the guy pretty much said it's a democracy kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If nobody wants to do it, we'll stop the games. We're not forcing you to do these games. You know what I'm saying? So they vote, and everybody's like against it. Some people wanted to keep going because they saw that everybody who died, all the money went to the ball.
Oh, I get it.
It was a lot of money. It was a lot of money.
Wow.
And so they're like, and so the majority voted against it, and so they all got gassed and dropped off the side of roads, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, people who got released were like, man, my life kind of sucky. You're saying, you know, whatever. Someone going back, he's trying to find other way. The main guy found his mom that got sick because he was gone for like 2 days. She got hospitalized, and they found out she had diabetes, and she had it for a long time. And apparently, like, it got so bad that they're thinking about amputation. But she was the only one who had a steady income where they were living, and he didn't want his mom to suffer anymore. He hadn't been trying hard, but since he got laid off from his job, it's been hard to find work. And then that's when he finds out, you know, his wife's gonna leave. The boyfriend was gonna buy him off. He was gonna give him the money. He went to his ex-wife to ask her for some money to help his mom. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because she didn't dislike his mom. She just disliked him for not being a provider, etc. You know, whatever.
Right.
And so they're talking about it. Boyfriend walks in with daughter, stuff like that. Surprised, like, what the hell is he doing here? As you know, main character's leaving. Boyfriend comes out and says, "Here, man, here's some money." And I'm thinking, oh, he's doing the generous thing. He maybe heard about his mom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He says, "You take this money and stay out of our lives, stay out of your daughter's life." You know what I'm saying? Because you're just a problem. You know, make her, you know, bring her down. He got there, whack, punch the dude, said, "Fuck your money, take your money." I ain't gonna sit there and have you bribe to take my daughter away, you know, whatever. So
right.
he was getting fired, and it showed everybody else's situation. Like his homeboy got caught in this situation. He was called the gold child of Sun Woo or something like that.
Okay.
Like they're in a poor province in South Korea, and he was the only one that went to a top-notch university, had all this going for himself. Then all of a sudden, you're like, why is he here? You're saying, why is he in the games if was doing so well? You know, this Indian guy who moved to Korea, he was, I guess they're refugees, and, you know, he had to find a way. It's like all these characters are kind of neat, right? Anyway, so push come to shove, you know what I'm saying, he calls people back and said, you know, he asked them something, and they're like, well, you have an opportunity to come back and try the games, whatever. And so,
okay, and he goes back.
He goes back, but then he sees that everybody else that know is back. Every single person, because they went out there and their life was just that much harder. And so it was like, if I could win, I could really change things around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, because they thought there were gonna be multiple finalists. Oh no. They didn't realize it towards the end. But it was like, they thought, oh yeah, well, all of us work together, you know, a lot of us could get out with some money, we split it, you know, whatever, you know. They try to form teams, you got betrayals. There's like part where they set up to where like they're all in this room, in the bedrooms, they all sleep in these bunks. And they did something, and it was part of the game, but they didn't know it. And they made people paranoid, and they just going to town, killing each other and shit. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was wild, man. And I don't know, it's a wild show. But it's like, it's neat to kind of see how they go about this. Like it's like again, like Kaiji, it kind of reveals the dark side of human nature.
Yeah, it was kind of the
You see
point
what
of
I'm
the
saying?
story. Yeah, it's not really my thing,
Yeah.
but yeah, what's the name of it again?
Squid Game.
Squid Game. Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
just anybody that's interested, they can check it out. I'm not gonna see it myself, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If you're not to like people dying and stuff like that, then yeah, don't watch it. But if you're you don't mind it and you're kind of interested in how these people go about the games, like there's a big plot twist at the end,
All right, don't
and
talk
I
about the
did
plot
not.
twist though.
I'm gonna tell you, but I was like, damn it! I was like, really? I was like, oh no way, because there's parts are like, oh no, like feel for characters because they get you the feel for certain characters,
Yeah.
and then it's like just like Kaiji the same fucking thing. It's like he's doing so well. Why the doctor? You know what I'm saying? Or why the glass maker? You know what I'm saying? This was part where they had to like cross this bridge of glass panels. Some were tempered and some were regular glass, right? So the tempered glass can hold up to 2 people at a time, while the regular glass can't hold anything. So they had to walk across.
it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was like a few stories high, enough where a drop will kill you.
Yeah, I mean,
And so they had to pull these numbers. They didn't know it beforehand. They had to put these outfits. Like, they had these numbers 1 through whatever, and people were just grabbing numbers. The main character just waited and gave his number 1 up for this guy. Guy like, let me get the number 1. He's like, fine, and he ended up getting the end. So the guy who got number 1 didn't realize he was the first one to go. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, he hit the old Wile E. Coyote. He hit the old Wile. He's like, come on! And they had a 10-minute time limit, bro. And they're like, get moving, gotta pick. He's like, I don't know what. And like, gotta get going. And he takes 1 step. I was like,
man.
yo, yeah, people were like fucking panic. Oh man, you gotta watch it.
Yeah,
I know you're not gonna watch it, but
people watch it. Yeah, if y'all interested in that, definitely check it out. Yeah, is there anything else? Yeah.
That's it. My bad. I talked a long time.
Oh, you good? That was
the shorter one.
Oh, I mean, I might still be longer,
short.
but
I was gonna be short, but I just got kind of passionate.
No, it's all good. That's good. Shit, passion is great. That's what keeps it going. All right, so then I guess it's on me. I'm gonna say my last. So I'm gonna say now the last one's gonna be Dragon Ball Z, which is why I want to make sure, or Dragon Ball Super, which is why I want to make sure I saved it.
I didn't read the Liz chapter. Damn.
You didn't?
No.
Shit. All right, I can't talk about it then. I'll save that.
You can talk about it. Go ahead. It's fine.
No, because
I know about it.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind DBZ spoilers. It's DBZ.
Well, no, because I need you to read it and see it so y'all can so we can talk about it because you would know what's going on.
I know what's going on.
I mean, I still read it.
I guess it's not that much. You know what? It's not that much that happened that's like crazy. So I guess it's I can. Okay. Yeah. We'll discuss on the other side. That'd be like the discussion for the day, I guess. And I'm not gonna make this super long. We're already an hour and 10 minutes. So
yeah.
For me, the major thing that I've been doing, I've been watching. First of all, is Marvel What If. Marvel What If, I've been watching, which I was watching before, but I didn't realize it was 9 episodes. I think 9 episodes. 9 episodes for the first season. So it's actually one of the larger series that they're going to have. And the last time we talked, I only watched like the first 3 episodes, I think. Since then, we're now on like episode 7 or 8. I want to say 7. And of those 7 episodes, 4 of them are pretty dark. And one of them is really dark. If anybody has seen the Stephen Strange, What If Doctor Strange Lost His Heart episode, fuck.
Oh, wow.
That episode is dark. Essentially what happens in that episode. Do y'all mind if I talk about it or?
Well, man,
I'm probably never gonna see it.
Okay.
Because I don't have the Disney stuff.
Yeah. All right, so what ends up happening in that episode of the What If? First of all, the art style in the What If series, to me, I love it. It's 3D, but it's definitely trying to harken back to the comic style and whatnot, as far as the illustration and whatnot and the designs. And so I really enjoy that. But yeah, the Stephen Strange was the one that got me because in the episode, spoiler if you have not watched it, you've been warned. Basically, in the movie, for Doctor Strange. He lost his hands, which was like the whole thing from the whole catalyst from going to learn magic and become the Sorcerer Supreme and all that good stuff. In this, instead of losing his hands, it's like, what if instead he lost his heart being Christine. So he lost his girl. She's in the car with him, and she dies instead of him losing his hands, and that's what gets him to become the Sorcerer Supreme. To start searching for a way to try and bring her back, rather than just altruistic. Oh, I lost my hands. I want to be useful or whatever. And so his whole purpose is that he's trying to find a way to bring her back, and that's his whole drive, like throughout the entire thing. And he eventually learns that the Eye of Agamotto time travel or can travel through time. And so his whole thing becomes he's going to go back in time to try and revive her. And so he does. There's one point in the short that shows where he's like, I'm going to use this to go back in time. And he does it. He goes back. He tries to save her. And the thing that's fucked up is that when he tries to go back and save her, no matter what he does, it turns out they make a montage of her dying. Everything he does, like everything you would think in your head, like, well, just do this. He does it and she still dies. Like, the first time he goes back, he on the mountain road, he drives safer. He uses his blinker. She still dies. She still have an accident because the driver behind him hits him. She dies. He comes back next time, like, well, what if she's driving instead of me? They on the same road. Instead of his side getting hit, her side gets hit. The driver's side, she dies. He's like, what if we take the long road? We get there later. Still dies. What if we go to the dance another route? They get there. She has a heart attack. What if we don't go there? He literally what if we just go? Let's go get pizza. They go to get pizza. They get robbed. She gets shot. She dies. He's like, what if I just stand her up and don't show up at all? Maybe it's me. He watches the news later on that night. There's an attack, a bomb of the building. She's the only person that dies. It's a long montage. You just keep seeing him consistently go back in time, and every time she dies, and then the Ancient One finally tells him like her death is a fixed point. It can't be reversed no matter what you do. And that's the start of his route to the quote unquote the dark side and becoming evil. Long story short, he goes through some shit. He's like, all right, I gotta find a way. Like, I don't care what the Ancient One says. I've got to find a way to reverse this absolute point. She says there's no way to change this. Like, she warns him, like, trying to change the absolute point could destroy the universe. And he's like, well, fuck that. I'm gonna find a way to fix this. I don't believe you. You said anything's possible, so that means this should be possible too. And so he ends up at this temple. And he's like studying the dark arts, and then he realizes or learns through his studies that the only way to fix an absolute point is to get more power. And so he starts calling creatures from other dimensions and absorbing their powers. And if initially he tried to absorb this one creature that also made an appearance in the first Marvel What If. It's basically just tentacles. I swear they're teasing Shuma Gorath, but I don't know. But anyway, tries to absorb that, and he can't. It beats the shit out of him. So then he's like, okay, let me start small. So he like summons like this little evil gnome from some other dimension, absorbs that. Then he like gets a cockroach, but the cockroach creature has a cape that he likes, but he's like, I'm not gonna absorb bugs. So he sends a bat, takes the cape, and that's how he gets his cape now. And so he keeps going. He starts getting larger and larger creatures. Absorbs like this monster, goats, dragon, all that stuff, and then eventually goes back to the tentacle monster, absorbs that, and you can just see like his entire demeanor, his body. The cool thing is like as he absorbs all these demons, you can see like their features getting sucked in, and like how much it's changing him physically, and he just gets more and more evil. And at this point, I'm just like, man, this is fucked. Like it's dark. It's just fucked up. I'm just like the darkest thing I've seen from Marvel in a long time, especially like animated. I'm like, I don't know where this is going, but Jesus. And so it gets to one point where like he's like, I've got more powerful. And he's like, no, there's one other person I got to absorb to get more powerful. And they cut back to that point where the Ancient One shows up and warns him about messing with time. And you see, they show the scene side by side. And what she did is she split their universe's timeline into two. So there's one where he makes the choice to absorb all those demons and go forward and try and break the absolute point. And there's another point where in that same moment, he finally resigns himself like, you know what, she's dead and I got to move on. And I'm not going to destroy the universe just to bring her back. And he puts the Agamotto down and moves and continues on with his life. And so now there's two strangers in the same universe. And so they only do that so that you can have them battle. And at that point, in my brain, I'm like, okay, this is their way of having the good Strange fight the evil Strange. He'll win. Everything will, it'll balance out. There might be some downside too, but it'll make sense that they get this epic battle and he wins and everything. The usual kind of Marvel fare.
Right.
No, that's not what happens. Fucking, they fight and it's a sick fight and it's animated well and it's damn good. But no, the evil Doctor Strange removes all his protection and he absorbs good Strange and he becomes whole and he becomes completely insanely and powerful. And when he does this, he goes back, he fixes the point, or he fixes the absolute point. He saves Christine, but by doing so, one, he turns himself into like this crazy monster. So when he comes back, she can't even recognize him. She's fucking petrified of him. And then two, he seals the universe's fate. His universe is done for. It's dissolving. Like, people around him are literally dying as he's trying to do all this. He just does not care because he's so fixed on bringing her back. And at certain points, you get a hint.
That's interesting.
So I don't know if I mentioned this before. I probably didn't. But like in the What If series, the Watcher is present, but no one can see him. So he's always giving commentary, and he also does the intro narration and the outro narration for each story. But generally, no one can see him or knows his presence is there. But in this specific episode, Steven shows signs that he knows somebody is out there watching. It's like he'll be doing something, and he'll be like, "Huh? Somebody's there." And when I first saw, I'm like, he's that powerful that he can actually see the Watcher. I'm like, what the fuck? And so, but when it gets to his end point where he's fucked up the entire universe and like shit's falling apart, he finally he's trying to stop with his magic. It's not happening. Everything's falling apart. The world's like collapsing. Like Christine's disappearing. Buildings, everybody that they're all just disappearing. Like turning into like this black smoke. They're all dying. And he finally looks up as he's trying to hold back the collapse of the universe with his own power. And he says, like, I know you're watching. You can stop this. And he looks at he's talking to the Watcher. And they have a conversation.
Wow.
And he's like, I know, like, please, you got to stop this. And the Watcher just blabs him, like, no, you fucked up. like, even if I could, and like, Steven's like, punish me, don't punish everybody else. They don't deserve to die for, my mistake. And he's like, if I could, I would punish just you. But because of your fuck up, I can't risk you fucking up other universes. You have to die. This universe is dead. Good job. There's your gold star. And you don't get Christine.
Wow. And
so all you watch is the entire world just shrinks down into this one gem. Like, it's like this purple gem. And they zoom into it. All you see is Steven holding like Christine as she fades away. And she asks him, what did you do? And then she just disappears. And he's the only person left alive in the universe. And he's just stuck in that gem. And that's it. And it fades away as it zooms out, and all you hear is him saying, I'm sorry, and that's how it ends. And
wow.
I left that episode fucking depressed and paralyzed. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Holy shit. I was like, that was when I knew, like, just, okay, this can go anywhere. And it was weird because, like, as a contrast to the Star-Lord episode, like, what if T'Challa was Star-Lord episode, that episode was super upbeat, and it was really dope. And then, like, a lot of changes. You get fucking, again, spoilers. You get Thanos as a good guy, which is, they're like, T'Challa is so good at diplomacy that he turns Thanos good. And I'm like, the fuck? Like, yo. Like, so the What If series has been really interesting in that sense. But, like, the 3 episodes for this last one, like, were really dark. With the Stephen Strange one being, like, the darkest I've ever seen him go. Because, damn. That shit was just like, it was like everybody just died. And even the Watcher was like, I'm not a god, and neither are you. So you fucked up, and I'm not going to save you. Sorry. I'm going to watch you die. It's unfortunate, but that's my job. And I was like, but you're not going to have nobody, ain't nobody going to come in and say, no, we're just going to end the whole world? Everybody, okay. I guess that's it.
That's a trip.
Yeah,
wow.
Man. It was, and I'm like, I normally like, I know I make I know I put out the conception that I don't like dark stuff and I don't like depressing stuff, and that's true. I don't. I like more uplifting, more comedy, more. I just like stuff that's more uplifting and more, or at least has a uplifting note that it ends on, so I don't feel depressed when I finish watching it. That's just how I am, and I'm not gonna apologize for that. But that's not to say that I can't watch something like that has a deeper meaning or like has a depressing, dark ending, and not enjoy it. It's just I prefer not to. But that one I was like, damn, as dark as that is, and as I'm depressed right now, that shit was fire. It was well done. Like this is one of the best episodes of anything they put out animated in a while. Like this is good. And like the same thing with the T'Challa episode, like that was really good too. The other episode that was dark, not quite as dark, but ended dark, was the fucking Killmonger episode. They have an episode where Killmonger, they kind of swerve you because it seems like Killmonger, again, story spoilers. They swerve you, make you think Killmonger is gonna be like this good altruistic guy now, because instead of Tony Stark going into, getting captured, going to the cave, making the arc reactor in his chest, and then, turning to Iron Man. Instead, Killmonger shows up and saves him. So now Tony Stark doesn't turn to Iron Man, but he hires Killmonger as his security, or his head of, or chief security, or something like that. And in the initial, like, I guess 10 minutes, it does seem like, oh, this is going to be good Killmonger. Like, everybody kept trying to say that he should be the next Black Panther since Chadwick Boseman died. And I'm like, no, don't do that, because Killmonger shouldn't be that character. That would be completely ass backwards. And Marvel clearly agreed, because after that 10 minutes, Killmonger starts showing his real... Killmonger is a piece of shit. This entire thing. He is conniving. I won't go into detail about that because it requires too much time to talk about, but damn, man. He played everybody. He played everybody. And he ends up killing Tony Stark. He still kills Claw. He still kills Claw. Listen, Claw still dies. He kills a lot of people. He gets a lot of people killed. He kills T'Challa. He kills T'Challa and he kills Rhodey. Like, it's just man. He kills everybody. Like, he killed T'Challa and Rhodey like in a fucked up way too. Yeah, he's just like, I'm Killmonger, and then at the end, like Tony, and pretty much like he tries to hide the fact that he killed him, but it gets back to Tony has Jarvis keeping an eye on him, and Tony learns of that, and he tries to have his own machine fight Killmonger, and Killmonger fucks it up, and then throws a fucking arrow right through Tony's chest.
Wow.
And it's just like, damn, man. I'm like, this is just dark. But then the very last episode that came out was Thor, if he wasn't a hero, basically, and so Thor ends up being a party animal and brings a intergalactic party to Earth, and it's a hilarious episode in my opinion. It was funny and it was very light. And there's one semi-dark moment at the very, very end, because without the Avengers forming or anything else happen, instead of all the stuff that happens, Ultron and Vision become one. and they show with all the Infinity Stones at the very, very, very end in like a teaser cutscene. And it's like, oh, well, shit. That's what happens, huh? So yeah, the what if stuff has been interesting. Like, I've seen some people say like they don't like it because it doesn't mean anything, or it doesn't like it goes anywhere with like the general, like the MCU. And I'm like, but to me, that's the fun part of it, is that it's like it gets to have all these different experimental ideas, and jump away from the norm and stuff like that, and just take these ideas and kind of go with them. Like, me personally, that
makes sense. It's what's called what if,
right? Yeah. Like, but then like particularly the T'Challa episode, which is episode 2, with him being Star-Lord, that was my favorite thing in the entire thing. And God, I would love a series off of that, even though I know it's not that deep, and I don't know where they could even go with it, but I wouldn't even mind it. One, because I don't know if I've expressed this before. I've said something similar, but like black people in fantasy settings as main characters is my jam. And particularly either like fantasy settings or space settings, which that's my jam right there. That's why Deep Space Nine is one of my favorite Star Trek series, because fucking Captain Sisko. I'm like, yo, got a black. I'm like, yes, this is one of the things I watched when I was growing. I'm like, yo, we're not growing by the time that came out. I was already grown, but I was happy to see it. I'm like, oh, we get a black captain in space. Imagine that. I guess we can do it, And so seeing like T'Challa especially in that Star-Lord like position was really cool, because he made a really good Star-Lord. I'm like, damn, okay. And they definitely gave it a different tone. That Star-Lord episode, like, it did make me tear up at the end, because they do the whole tribute to Chadwick Boseman and everything, and it's like one of your last times hearing. Well, you hear his voice throughout the entire What If series, but that episode in particular is like one of the ones he has the most lines in, and he's definitely most like himself. T'Challa's most like himself that from the movies. And so that's probably still my favorite episode of the entire series. But yeah, like, I just love that, because again, I'm like, the whole space travel idea, that's one of the things that kicked off my current writing with what I'm doing now. Aside from, that was one of the inspirations was that episode, and I'm like, man, I love it. But yeah, I'm liking Marvel What If. That's the major thing I've been watching and following every week, and checking it, or just watching that. The other thing I've been watching, which I didn't know existed until like I started doing research for my current story. I started looking up like, okay, I gotta look up space dog fights. I gotta look up, I was looking up like ships and like different space battles and stuff like that, just trying to get an idea of stuff. There's this YouTube channel called Dust, literally just DUST Dust, and it's all sci-fi short films. And I don't know how I didn't know about this, because somebody else said in the comments of one of the videos on that channel, like, it reminds them of like old school sci-fi, how Sci-Fi Channel used to be. And I'm like, yeah, it really does. And I think that's why I'm attracted to it. So I've been watching the movies on that channel a lot and following that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's called Dust, and it's just a bunch of short films. It was really cool. So I've been following that a lot. I probably pretty much watch one of those films like every few days, or no, every day basically. I watch one of those films, if not more, because they're very short. They're like 15 to 30 minutes long at best. They're all short films. There was this one series called A Tropa that I was watching, which was really good, on that channel, and they just finished that one up last Monday. Was it last week? Did it finish? I guess it did finish. Man, that time is flying. I guess it was last week it finished. It was really good though. I like that one too. And then what else did I watch? There's been some other stuff I've watched. I'm still watching Jahi, so I'm still checking that out, but I'm like a couple episodes behind, so I gotta catch up on that. As far as reading, I've been reading a lot of manga. The ones that are important to us here. As far as the Shonen stuff, I've been Boruto came out again. It was okay. I'm just following that storyline and seeing where it takes it. And then the one I was saving, because I know we'll talk about it, is Dragon Ball Super. We're back to the point where, like, oh hey,
Super in the building.
So Vegeta, as expected, did not win. Of course he didn't, and he needed Goku to save him, because of course he fucking did. And yeah,
pretty much.
I'm like, I knew it. I'm like, this.
And then he gets into the point where he gets mad at Goku for even stepping in into his fight again, and so then at the end of the thing, he starts going back into this so furious. I'm sorry, I couldn't tap into the bullshit.
Yeah. So I will say this. What happens is this, because there's an okay inflection point here, and it's kind of weird because I feel like the characters are not being themselves, but. Yeah, Vegeta indeed does start getting his ass whooped. He can't turn back into Ultra Ego for whatever reason. And I'm like, okay, great, here we go. Granola starts beating his ass because, of course, he does. Eventually, though,
beat the ego out of his ass.
Right, basically. beat the Ultra God and beat the ego out of your ass.
Ego out of your ass. You humble as hell.
Right.
Vegeta.
He does. He actually legit becomes like
humble pie.
He does. He becomes humble Vegeta. I'm like, the fuck? Like, he doesn't actually become humble, but like, basically, some other shit happens. It gets to a point where Vegeta's like, you know what? I can't win. And you know what? If I can't win,
this realization almost every time.
Right. And he's pretty much, he pretty much says like, well, if that's the case, I give up. Go ahead and kill me. And literally just goes to sacrifice his life. And then like Renault's like, this less attack's gonna kill me. And they're both like, we're just gonna kill ourselves. And I'm like, this is the dumbest. I'm like, all right, man. For once, Goku is actually the smart person in the room. Goku shows up, punches Vegeta to get him out of the way of Granola's attack with him. He's like, the fuck is wrong with you? No, he punches Granola to keep Granola from attacking. And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, Vegeta, you were about to let yourself die? Are you fucking serious? And then Vegeta's like, And I'm like, I don't know what the writing is for this series right now. Like, what is this series right now? What is happening? I'm like, and I know it's different when Goku's the smartest one in the room. I'm like, all right, man. So then
at the end, the old boy was it he a Namekian that the Granola was with?
Yeah, the Namekian shows up. Yeah. See, I have seen it.
I told you I followed it.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay. Hey, I know you saw. Okay, see this here. Okay, then, yeah, you know. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and the Namekian shows up. Yeah, and he's like, He's like,
And then that's
Granola,
where
I
he
lied to
reveals to the
you.
granola about he reveals to granola about what happened to his people and the one saying that saved his people
And fucking Goku's
or
father,
something like that. Yep, Bardock.
Bardock. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Is that what we're doing? I'm like, so really, this whole thing could have been solved a long ass time ago. Granola got lied to. All right,
Mm,
I
mm.
guess. All
Isn't
right,
that typical?
yeah. So
Somebody misholds information.
basically, so I'm like, well, on the bright side, I guess this means that they're gonna stop fighting. Because my whole thing with this, I'm like, this fight seems kind of dumb. Like, I get it where his revenge is coming from, but I'm like, yeah, but if y'all just, it's one of those things where clearly, one thing I don't like in writing, whether it happens a lot of romance writing too, but a lot of the times it's just like a lack of communication, and sometimes like I don't mind a lack of communication being an issue and what causes something to happen, but it really irks me when that lack of communication is literally like somebody not, having 2 seconds of like clear thought of like, all right, clearly these two Saiyans have told you they aren't responsible, but you're so blinded by your rage, I'm just gonna kill them anyway, right? It's like, but you can't get the information about Frieza until you talk to them anyway. And it's like, you would have just took 2 seconds and talked to him, they'd have told you we already kicked his ass. Like, he's still alive, but he's not a threat to us. We can kill him whenever we want to. Like, and we don't work for Frieza. Frieza's our mortal enemy too. And it's like, I'm like, all right, well, I guess they gotta make some kind of way so they can fight. So they just made him ignore it. It's the same shit with like Batman versus Superman. It was like, if Batman were like cognizant for like 2 fucking seconds and was actually the detective he normally is, when Superman showed up and said, "Hey, I got a problem," he didn't be like, somebody or Lex Luthor captured my mom. He's trying to get the fight. He'd be like, oh shit, all right, hold on, let's get this together and figure this out. Then it would be no problem. But because they have to fight, I don't mind contrived stuff to make things happen. That's how writing goes. You have to get stuff set up, and you can always work your way out of it. But that contrivance cannot be so dumb that it makes me recognize it in like 15 seconds. Where I'm just sitting there like, oh, so we could have just.
So that's what's happening.
Yeah, that's basically what's happening with the Dragon Ball. I'm like, if y'all had like 1 more minute of communication. Like, if they'd had 1 more minute of communication and Granola was still an asshole, and I'm like, okay, well, he's just an asshole, and like, it's on him. But like to this point now, it's like, okay, but they told you this like 5 episodes ago, and you didn't listen, and now because it's coming from the Namekian that said he lied to you, like, you should be mad at him and kill the Namekian, right? Yeah? No? Okay, we're just going, all right, I don't know what they're going to do.
But of course not. We can't do that to the Namekian. What's wrong with you?
But more to the point, I'm just mad because, like, once again, Vegeta, like, I've got this new power, Ultra Ego. It lasted for fucking 1 goddamn chapter, and it's like, yep, that shit's gone. That's just been you can't turn back into that anymore. You can't. You're like,
yeah, that's typical Vegeta shit.
I'm like,
immaculate power up, and everybody gets all crunk. Oh my god, Vegeta's about to go off.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at it like, yeah, he's about to go off, all right.
Right, Vegeta.
Get his ass whooped.
I don't recall who said it to me, but I will repeat it again. Vegeta is the measuring stick of the level of power Goku needs to fight the next enemy. That's it. That's his whole service in the story. As much character development as Vegeta, like, it's funny because Vegeta has had the most character development of anybody in the entire series, and has grown the most. Because even in that moment, where he's like, "I'm gonna let myself die now," which is, again, it's stupid. It's like, why are you gonna let yourself die to this dude you don't know? You could have just basically, like, at the very worst, you could have fled and like regrouped or some shit. Why are you just gonna? I don't understand this. Whatever warrior pride is so. I'm like,
I guess that's the.
It's such a character reversion.
Being broke.
I guess
got broke and
right.
He just goes in depressive state. So,
but it just doesn't make any sense because, like, as Vegeta, as we know him, even if he's he's done it before. That's how Boo died, or the first Fat Boo got he didn't die from it, unfortunately, but Vegeta sacrificed himself because he felt like he had to do it to protect the Earth. Which in that case it made sense.
That made sense.
Right. That's what this one.
Frieza, Goku, you can't beat him. He's too strong. He turns into this big old bitch, and that's what Piccolo was like. Yeah, you call yourself a Prince of all Saiyans, and it's like,
To be fair to that one, like, that one even makes sense because it's like, this is the person that's been pretty much his oppressor for the longest time. So there's a complex with that. You know what I mean? Like, he's been having to deal with that for the longest time. So that one I get. Granola's some
pride at, homie.
Well, right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, with Granola, it's like, this some dude you ain't never fucking seen before. Like, this Granola, some dude you never seen before. Some dude out of nowhere comes up and then beats you, and you're like, well, guess I'll die now. The fuck? That is not... What is this character? Like, I'm like, that does not fit Vegeta.
Broke his spirit.
I don't buy that one.
I hate it because they always do that, but if you understand the Vegeta character, how they have him, he's so prideful that
but the
anything
only time
that
he
he
did
feels
that
he
was
can't do.
the only time he did that was in the Broly movie when he got blasted up by Broly, and Piccolo like dropped his ass. That's the only time.
That was the Broly movie. That wasn't the.
That was the only time in TVC history that Vegeta punked up like that. Like, he's never sat there and gave up and said, "I'm might as well die." Other than Frieza, like, that was the only time. Every other time, when he fought 18, got his shit wrecked. When he every time he fought, he never said. It was pissed me off.
Yeah, he didn't say that against Cell, but he kind of gave himself up against Cell too.
Well, with the Cell thing, that was a matter of like he knew.
Cell, he knew he couldn't beat him.
Right, and then on top of that too, he like had nothing. Yeah, he didn't fight him. Like, I had nothing to do. Right, exactly. He's like, I had nothing. I can't do anything about this. But he didn't say like, "Well, Cell, go ahead and kill me." That's where I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? Right. That's why I'm like, this makes no sense. Like, even if it's like his ego's defeated. He got fucking mopped up by Jiren in fucking just a tournament ago. And he was like...
Everybody got mopped up.
Yeah. Well, right. But my point being, like, he didn't... Right now. Right. Well, but my point being, he wasn't like, well, I guess I'll just stay here and just let Jiren shoot me with a beam. No. He like... Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't like, well, I guess I'll just take this attack. I'm like, the fuck? What? Huh? Like, that makes no sense for his character at all. I'm like, all right, I don't understand what this is going for.
I mean, I guess I guess in a sense I could see what they were trying to do with this. Because he's supposed to be, I don't know. I guess it's that whole he's supposed to be so damn prideful, and then for a while he was actually beating this dude who had no skill, pretty much as compared to his fighting sense, and then all of a sudden it's like the tables turned.
But he already spoke. But he already spoke on that because he's like your skill level. Like you still got to get used to it. You just got it from the dragon or whatever. You just to be stronger. Like he already knows him. It just that frustrating because like it made no sense to me that he would just stop and be like, all right, I'm gonna kill myself now. I'm just gonna let this attack kill me. I'm like, huh?
Trying to just die in a blast.
Yeah, I'm like, the hell?
Go out getting your ass whooped.
Right, the Vegeta we all know, even after like he becomes a good guy, like a fully good guy, and understands he's protecting Earth, whatever. Like. The Vegeta we know was just like even now like he's like okay this planet is obviously fucking not worth not something you got to worry about. I can go all out here. I would have thought he'd have been like well fuck it I'm about to just use my fucking insane attacks and shit that are detrimental to me but I'm gonna hurt you too. He was like no go ahead Granola do your thing.
He did the little Hakai energy thing.
He did.
That was probably his best attack and it was just like well that didn't work so.
He's like, I'll just take.
It's bad writing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's bad writing. It's just bad. It's just as bad as Goku, dumbass, falling to the same damn. Oh, this is a bad guy. Oh, I feel so good. Here, get a senzu bean. And regenerate your life. It's like they always go back to having a bad, stupid moment for both characters. Like Goku had his, so now we got to give Vegeta his today.
And like in Dragon Ball before, like I guess it's probably just I'm so tired of it because like before it was kind of tolerable because it hadn't been done so much. I don't know. I'm just like man I can't take this shit anymore dog. I'm like all right man when he gave Moro that senzu bean I'm like you are the dumbest thing I've ever seen on God's green earth. You have to be several levels of stupid to get to do the senzu bean. You want to turn yourself in? Fine. Leave him in that condition where he can't fight anymore. Don't fucking give him a senzu bean. There's no logical reason to give him a senzu beam if you're gonna tell him to go back to jail. Like, let him be fucked up so he can't be a threat. Why give him a senzu beam? Here you go. Now you go take yourself right back to jail. What?
They gotta give him the dumb moment. They got to give him the dumb moment.
And it's so irritating that they write like that. Like oh my god. Like, but then this time Goku's actually the smartest one. He's like, you were gonna kill yourself, weren't you? Can't believe you. I'm like, yeah, I can't either. Oh man, Dragon Ball writing has been something else, man. And I normally don't complain about it like that because I know it's a shonen. And you kind of go into Dragon Ball like it is what it is. I know I'm not gonna get super mad at it. But I read that this week. I'm like, that's what we doing. All right, okay.
It's
I'm like,
like
all
they
right.
can't never break the mold.
Basically, I'm just like, okay, man, all right, you got it. This is what Dragon Ball is. I get it. I just watch for like certain characters that I like to do stuff, and even right now they're not gonna do anything anyway. So who knows
I
what that
mean,
stuff
yeah, because
is?
most of the characters ain't doing shit any damn
No,
way.
they're
It's
not
just
even
Vegeta
there.
and
It's just Vegeta and
Goku all the way
Goku.
through.
It's the Vegeta and Goku show.
Piccolo's been forgotten ever since the Cell Saga.
Oh yeah. Like, so yeah, that was my frustration with Dragon Ball, man. I just was like reading it. I'm just like, man, ugh. I'm kind of hate reading it right now, and I normally don't do that, but I was kind of with it until that moment with Moro when he gave him a Senzu beans. I'm like, this is the most nonsensical. Even with Frieza, you didn't give him a Senzu bean. I mean, you didn't have any, but you gave him enough life.
He gave him his power, though.
He gave him enough power to float.
Kill his ass.
Yeah, he gave enough energy to like float around and like be alive. He like, here's enough for like the top half of your body to survive. Now leave us be, which is still monumentally stupid. It's dumb.
Been the Goku syndrome ever since the beginning.
Yeah,
like, when he
for
fought
sure.
Raditz bragged him into dropping his tail so he can,
Yeah, that's true.
supposedly give up. So that happened. Then when Krillin had a chance to try to kill Vegeta, he let him go. Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like,
and I guess that's the whole thing with him too.
He gives Frieza's power back, and then when he fought, I don't think he did. I think he gave Cell a Senzu bean.
Yes.
He thought so. Yeah, he did.
He gave Cell a Senzu bean.
He gave Cell a Senzu bean.
To fight his son. And that one is still another moment. I was like, what? The only thing that saved that for me because Gohan is so badass. I already knew he was that strong.
He knew. I think he knew already. Gohan was gonna be stronger than Cell.
But
I understand to a degree because that technically was I guess you could say a test of strength type arc, if you really want to say, because Cell was
but that was one of the things.
I want to fight the strongest, and strongest fight the strongest type.
Right,
shit.
But that was one of the moments. I'm also like, Goku is a terrible character. like
he's one of the worst characters ever developed. He's terrible.
He's terrible. He's a terrible character. He's I'm gonna let you fight
how much power he powers up and forms and all that shit. He's a terrible character.
Yeah,
he's like to me, the only person that can battle for that position is Saitama, and it's like they're all in the same vein of like.
Ooh, people are like that one. But I feel
kiss my grits and shrimps. You know what I'm saying?
My thing was okay. So on One Punch, I've been reading the manga for One Punch. That's been coming back out on Shonen Jump, and I generally liked. I'm gonna throw that past tense on there. Liked One Punch. I liked One Punch, but One Punch has been really irritating to me lately because it's doing kind of a similar thing, where it's just like you got all these characters that definitely have these abilities, and they're doing some work, but for the most part, we're now just waiting for Saitama to show up and actually hit shit. And it's like everybody's just getting fucking dusted, and it's like, okay, so we just at this shit again. And I'm like, I'm just not a fan of like. I liked One Punch initially because Saitama was so powerful and everybody he encountered was like, oh shit. But like right now, just like he's not even part of the storyline. Everybody's waiting for him to show up some kind of way, and they're doing their own thing. They're showing their own powers, but it feels weird because it's like that we're really just waiting for Saitama to show up and say today. And it's just like at that point, it feels like all the stuff that these characters are going through, what they're doing is kind of minute. It doesn't. I don't know. I don't feel anything for when I read it. I'm still reading it when it comes out, and also it's very irregular. It comes out every once in a while. It doesn't come out like normally. So it's just kind of annoying in that sense. And Saitama himself, like you said, it's just the character. Like it was the gimmick was funny at first, but I do feel like One Punch's gimmick in that character only lasts so long before it's like, okay, well, it's kind of it's corny. It's kind of over. It's like I'm kind of over him being so powerful he can just kill anything in one punch, and just like he's not serious enough yet. It's like, okay, that's cool, but it's like now it's like. He's just going out being silly. Like, there's no.
That's the thing about like stuff like that is that like people like quick stuff, like momentary. They don't like things that are like they'll stretch across time. They like that quick fix. Oh yeah, I want to rub one out to the gold power level being excessively high. You say like, oh, blah. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. Okay, yes, it was cool. There's punching things in like one single blow or the wind from his back fist when he swatted a fly, killed like 40 crab monsters. Okay, that's cool for the first like 4 chapters, man.
Yeah.
That shit gets old and tired.
Old as hell.
Fast
It does.
Because like even when he fought that alien that was super powerful with the one eye, dog, that dude was going through 50 transformations to fight Saitama.
Right.
It was boring to me because we already knew that Saitama was playing with his food.
Right. Yeah.
And everybody was like I said, rubbing one out to the ground. Oh, the special effects and the production, cool. But we all know he's playing with his food, man.
Right.
Like all he has to do is if he want to be, all he has to do is really punch the guy, and he's done. He did it a couple times. Let the guy regen. The guy's like, oh man, I didn't think he'd be this strong. Here's my 15th form. You know, it's like, okay, cool. Now, like Saitama now, when he's not involved, when he's doing slice stuff, doing an epidemic, he's going to go get mackerel from the street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's playing King. And it's funny because like King's supposed to be the number 2 guy in the whole hero association. He's weak as all get out, which I do like.
I do like that too, yeah.
I like that. And that you get the weakest guy in the hero association and the strongest guy hang out all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And King knows that Saitama is way stronger. But
yeah.
Saitama doesn't know that King is that weak. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody's oblivious to it. You know what I'm saying? But I like that even though these characters are getting dusted, I like the idea that these characters are actually getting some
shine.
Yes.
No, let me agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Like that's the one thing that's definitely keep me reading is that I'm seeing characters that I actually like that aren't Saitama that are getting shine and doing some stuff.
Some of them
like
are winning.
some of them winning, and I like that. It's just it's got to the point now. It's like, all right, so when are we gonna actually get to the point where like Saitama comes back and we like just end this whole arc, because the arc there right now, the Monster Association has been dragging on forever, and I'm just like, I'm kind of tired of this shit.
Well, it's also because, like you said, it's irregular. It's not like,
and that's the part too. It's irregular, yeah.
They're not busting out weekly.
Which is, and that's totally fine. If that's what the author needs, by the way, if that's what the author needs to put, the pace is not the pace of the releases. While that does bug me in a sense of like, well, damn, I gotta wait for this release. I have no problem with that because I am all for authors, illustrators taking their time to do what they need to do to make sure they are not killing themselves, because I am all about that. That's fine. So that's not the problem. It's just that for me, no, it's if Saitama wasn't that, I guess that's the issue. If Saitama wasn't that powerful, or we didn't know how powerful Saitama was, there would be more intrigue there. And I guess that's my frustration, is that we know how powerful he is. So even though these characters are getting their time to shine, and I'm liking seeing that side of it, that's why I'm still reading it. It's frustrating to know that we're just basically kind of in the same space we be with like Goku. We all know how strong Goku is. Whoever he's fighting, he's gonna dust them. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, but exasperated with Saitama, and we're just waiting for that moment now. We're like, okay, he shows up. Yeah,
I guess in a different sense, it's because Goku would get his ass whooped, and then come up with some.
Goku gets his ass whooped.
A lot
of times he allows himself to get his ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll go base form and fight somebody who's like obviously
way stronger.
The plate is like,
you know, when he does fight somebody that technically is stronger than him,
which is the only person really Jiren. Jiren's the only one that actually put that work on him.
I mean, now, but if you look at a lot of other villains, I mean, at the end of the day, you knew he was gonna beat Frieza. Saiyan Saga, he got his ass whooped. Frieza whooped his ass, and the Namek Saga, he got some incredible burst, and of course the Super Saiyan that jumped him over above everything. Cell beat his ass. Well, stalemate technically, I guess you could say.
You got to throw in the whole illness aspect
a little bit. Outclassed him a little bit. Boo whooped his ass.
Yeah, Boo did.
Yeah.
So it's like he gets his ass whooped and then finds some way of winning.
But he's never
finds some random way of winning. So
but he never
sounds like he just.
Well, Saitama
he's just gonna win anyway.
Yeah, Saitama doesn't lose. He just shows up and just kills things.
But that's the idea about the whole series. That's why it's called One Punch.
One Punch. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But here's what I'm thinking. What I'm hoping, if he wants to break that standard shonen trope, and I'll go back to the Goku thing I was going to mention, is if they actually defeat the villain association by themselves, the demon one, without Saitama. Saitama is like, what the hell just happened? You know what I'm saying?
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah. Like, why is all this destruction? What's going on? And everybody's all beat up. He's like, where are you at? And he's like, eating fish and playing games. King, I thought they were King chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like playing games. That would be a good twist where it's like, oh shit, they actually did something without him, which they're pretty much doing anyways.
That's what's saying. If they go that direction, I'll be really happy. But I don't think that's the direction they go. But I would be happy if that's the direction they go. Because he's like with Flashy. What's his name? Flashy Flash.
Flashy Flash.
Yeah, Flashy Flash and the other monster guy that was down there with him, whatever. Like they're traveling underground right now, whatever. So if they go that direction, there's walking. So if they get to the point where it's like, oh shit, we did all of it by ourselves and we lost some numbers and we in tough or whatever, but and he shows up confused and like they go to what you're talking about. That one, I would say that's good writing. Two, I would enjoy that. That would be funny as hell and it'd be worth the wait. And three, it would just be great all around. I would love it. But if they get to the point where it's like, if they go where I think they're going to go and then he has to show up to fight the last guy or whatever. Because I remember that one guy came out, I don't know his name or whatever, the guy with the beard and the crown and shit, and he looks like a human, he's actually a monster. He's like so fucking...
he's like a hobo or something.
Yeah, like basically like he's like homeless and shit, and he come out and he like fucking... He's like the strongest monster they got or whatever, but he looks completely like a human. They're like, okay, cool, I guess. I'm like, they clearly have said, because I feel like they're clearly setting up that they can't beat him and they need Saitama to come back and fight him in one punch, quote unquote, one punch him or whatever. And so I'm like waiting for that moment, and I'm like, when that happens, I'm gonna be like kind of annoyed, but at the same time, it's like it's the only way they're gonna do it, and I think that's why they even introduced him because they already killed Orochi and they dealt with the rest of the they killed what's her name, the girl that was in charge. They already dealt with her too. She's I don't know if she's dead or in hiding.
You know, think about the psychic girl?
Yeah.
No, she's not dead. Mm-mm.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I don't think she's
dead. They throw a loop in there, and he doesn't beat him in one punch.
Nah, that's not happening. But if they did, I would again. That'd be for me. I'd be like, oh shit, here we go. Like, okay, cool, that's different. Because like the idea of like that, and I guess that's my frustration. Like, I kind of feel like as I'm reading this, I'm kind of like, this is all like it's cool and all, and it's nice to see them getting them scenes, but it's still like annoying because in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, we gotta wait for Saitama to show up for this to have to be solved. I like when other characters can solve shit. I'm not saying that should be the case all the time because that's why you have a main character, but the way that Shonen series build it up, especially Dragon Ball, because that's my biggest frustration with that point. But like they build up these characters and like they basically are nonsensical or not. They're
Dragon Ball from Dragon Ball from compared to One Punch. One Punch side characters don't call up for Saitama.
This is true.
Dragon Ball does. They rely on.
They rely on Goku. You're right. That's true.
But before you throw the first punch, they're like, "Where's Goku?"
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Is Goku alive? Our whole plan here is on Goku. We gotta get the ball back and resurrect Goku. We gotta get a Senzu to Goku. We gotta wait for Goku to get healed. Right. Hold on until Goku gets here.
Yeah, that's it. We're weak as shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got Vegeta, but we all know Vegeta's gonna get wrecked. All right, we gotta help out as much as we can, guys. We're all weak as garbage, but let's try our best so Goku gets here. That's the difference. One Punch, they don't give two. They think Saitama's garbage.
That's true. You know what? That's true. That's true.
A few people know he's strong. You know what I'm saying? A few people know he's like, oh, we need Saitama himself. The rest, even still, they don't beg for him. They don't say, well, we need him. All one does is Genos. Genos is the only guy that does it.
Yeah, Genos is the only one. Yeah, you're right.
Even then, he's like, I don't want to disturb Master. So what I'm gonna do is go get stronger and metal steroid myself up and try my best. And he gets obliterated every time he fights. I feel bad for him because he go out there and try his best and gets almost demolished.
Dusted.
Yeah.
Every time he fights.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. You're right. That's a good point. I think that is something I haven't been getting One Punch. And I think I've been more lately. I've just been frustrated. I kind of just want to see it get to the point. But you're right. That is true that the characters actually don't ask for Saitama's help. They actually actively think he's not that great. Even Flashy Flash is like, hold on, and he's like right next to me, like, hold on, the fuck? How did you just do this? Like, what did you just do? And like, hang on, like, there's no way you can do that. And then Saitama's like, huh? So I'll give him that. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I might be being harsh on One Punch with that. That's true. I think now I think about it, I might be being. I still have my issue with that because I just don't like OP characters. This is my thing. But I can see. Yeah,
Adrian, I'm Carnage. He knows how I feel about OP characters. Now, one thing that's why I do like. I like One Punch. I used to like fans of One Punch. Because those fans are all about the OP characters. Like, oh man, he's so powerful. But there's other characters. Through them, One Punch. That's all he needs. And I'm like, if you read the manga, the series is about everybody else but him. Like,
it's true.
It's outside the first main arc. It's like about everybody else. Like they go into a story about like what is it, Kid Genius, whatever the guy. He came back. You thought he was dead. One of the kid with the robots. Him.
Oh, I know about yeah.
Fang,
Child Emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fang, the dwelling the Fang and his background with all the other guys in his, like the old guys that got big.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I take back what I said about One Punch. I take it back. I'm wrong. It's fine. I do still have my issue with I'm just waiting on Saitama to get to that point.
Yeah.
But now I think but now I think about it, I guess I don't know why I lumped it in. Maybe I just had it in my brain and I was like reading Dragon Ball and for some reason I lumped it in for some reason.
Dragon Ball Z put your brain all the way back to base Shonen. It will reverse your brain back to Unga Bunga Caveman Shonen. And like you read it, and it's like every Shonen.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because like now I think about you know what, you're right because like, that was the whole part where I was reading One Punch Man and I was reading just to see what Garo would do because I was like, yo. Is this dude? Because like, at first they kind of teased that he might actually still be good.
Man, or even read the manga.
Oh, it's a. I will say as much as I was talking about it, it is a good read. It's
good read. It's good read.
It's like I said, it's got the OP character thing, but like other than that, like the other, yeah, you know what? Yeah, okay, I'll take it back. Maybe I'll go back and edit that. No, well, I'll leave it in there. If you guys are listening to this and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was wrong and I might be conflating some shit. Now I think about it, I was wrong about that. You're right. Like One Punch is definitely better in that respect, and because of the way the characters are. Because yeah, they don't. Unlike Dragon Ball, where the characters are all like waiting on Goku and they're useless without Goku to save them, the One Punch characters, right, especially right now, they are fighting to like do what they got to do. And then yeah, you do go through all the story arcs and stuff. Like it's very little about Saitama in the end. Like there's points where he's there, but yeah, now I think over it, maybe it's because of the most recent ones that I've read, and I just was kind of having a blurred memory. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. I take that back. It's a lot better. It's not my favorite. And I do still have issues with it, but yeah, it's way better than doing way better on the OP character than Dragon Ball is for sure. I do recommend giving it a read though. It's pretty good. It's entertaining. I guess
I hate OP characters, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Krillin will never be number one.
You saw that? I don't know if I sent you that stupid chart. I don't know what foolish person made this power chart. Like. It was like I saw it was on TikTok or it was on like YouTube videos, whatever. You know, they constantly keep playing, and this guy was rating. He brought his rage system, and they're rating characters. And had Krillin as straight to like 230 humans, but then they had King Kaneki at 5,000 humans. I was like, do you not know? I was like, who made this list? Like 02 was stronger than Krillin. I was like, Krillin is a planet buster. What do you not understand? Krillin can destroy a planet if he wants to. He can sit there, jump in the air, Kamehameha, boom, it's done. None of those people on that list, Eren Yeager, they put him at like 25,000. I was like, Krillin will kill Eren Yeager.
Yeah, I'm about to say, wait, what? Yeah.
That's because a lot of times you see Krillin, he's in gag form where they always one-shot him. Smack him once and it's over.
But he get one shot.
Those enemies that do that are like universe busters.
Right? Yeah, fucking Perfect Cell and some shit, or Spopovich or some shit. Like,
dog, like, look,
that's Spopovich wasn't even that strong.
Saiyan Saga, Vegeta, and Nappa were blowing up planets. Come on, man.
Yeah, good point.
They're blowing planets up like at a whim. There's like, what do you want me to do? Vegeta?
A lot of man. To be honest though, and I'm sorry, I know I'm saying this, and people are gonna probably hate it if they see this, but a lot of those anime lists are fucking made by people that don't understand how shit works. They don't understand how ratings work and how shit works. They be like, well, in this, because they don't compare the universes you're dealing with. Like, yeah, when you watch Attack on Titan and you see stuff going on or you read it, it looks crazy. It looks like, holy shit, they're fighting these things. They're so powerful. But those Titans would get they are toothpicks for the Saiyans. That's it. Like, and so if you go out of that and the Saiyan, yeah, what was I gonna say? There's toothpicks for the. Hold on.
I think that's the. Go ahead.
It's like they're toothpicks for the Saiyans, right? And the Saiyans, like Krillin, he can't hang with them, but he's in the ballpark because he's training with Goku so much, or he's playing with. So like he's there. But like in the Dragon Ball universe, like the lowliest fighting, your fucking Yamchas can fucking probably annihilate your basic ass Titan in in Attack on Titan. If you compare it across, you know what I'm saying? And so people don't think about it that way. They're like, oh, what I've seen on screen and how they act or whatever. They don't really compare like the actual universe. You can't compare the characters one to one. You have to compare the universe they're in to each other. So like, yeah, again, that goes to Naruto too. Like the Dragon Ball universe, all them characters would kill anybody in the Naruto universe because as strong as those Naruto characters are, again, they're not planet busters. Like aside from like the Ten Tails, maybe. But maybe Madara or something like that. But put Madara against Vegeta in like the world Vegeta comes from.
Rap.
It's not close. Like
the only advantage you'd have if you can get the doggone if you can bust a Sharingan out and put him in it.
Right, yeah, like do something like that.
Put him in a Genjutsu. That's the only thing that would
work. Right, yeah, put him in Genjutsu, yeah. And so in that sense, that's where it becomes interesting when you compare like power v power and like what they can actually do. But if you're like comparing straight up strength, like no, of course that's not gonna Krillin looks goofy and Krillin looks goofy and useless in his universe, and we all make fun of how much Krillin gets killed in his universe. But Krillin in the universe where fucking Frieza is an everyday enemy now. Like that's he's more powerful than everybody else. Like if you put Krillin, I would argue put Krillin in any fucking setting in any other timeline that's not Dragon Ball, he would probably fuck up everything because he'd be
like the MC, the main character.
Basically, he'd be the MC. Basically, in any other show, in any other universe, he'd be the main character. Like you'll follow his trajectory. Be like, oh shit, Krillin's the main character. They ended up with a family and got a powerful kids or whatever or some shit. Like if it's any other universe,
it's just really weird because if you're talking about if you're just looking at because the Dragon Ball universe, their power leveling
are just way
out of
it's so insane.
It's so insane. It's kind of hard to even look at any other anime universe.
You even put on the list because all those guys are strong. Everybody from Sea Warrior is saying is way stronger than 95% of Shonen characters out there. You can't sit there and say any Yu-Gi-Oh gods will beat them. Maybe the gods. You know what I'm saying? But Yu-Gi-Moto is not.
No. Well, I mean, Yugi's only power is like game. Like if he could get Goku to play a game against him, which wouldn't be that hard. Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah. You know, cause like I could take your life points, but then Goku would just be like, "Oh fuck it, all right, Ultra Instinct."
Yeah, Hunter x Hunter. I love Hunter x Hunter, but no character in Hunter x Hunter is beating a Dragon Ball Z character, man.
That's true.
Gon is not stronger than Krillin. Even adult Gon would get his shit wrecked by Teen Krillin. All right. I
wonder about some of them in Yu Yu Hakusho, because Yu Yu Hakusho got some crazy ass fuckers too.
Oh, even the girl get wrecked.
I can't Dragon Ball.
The girl get wrecked, but
Dragon Ball
wasn't even compared to them damn them kings that they had in the last arc?
The demon arc. Yeah. I mean,
Takuro was like a fly compared to them joint.
I'll say like people like Yusuke's dad, full power. Yeah. They probably can hang with maybe I would say maybe Yamcha, maybe a good Chaozu. You know what I'm saying? Like let's be honest, let's be real. Like they were strong, but like these guys like Krillin and them, like before Z even happened, ran across a continent in less like 30 minutes to get to the tournament, dog.
That's
like,
true.
They were non-stop running, and it was like passing up cars. Like, it was like that's like teenage years, man. And they're just running past 80-mile-an-hour speeding cars. You know what I'm saying? Blowing up mountains.
I would probably give Yusuke's dad a little more props because that nigga was hungry.
Dog,
he ain't ate in like millennia, and he still was. He still was astronomically stronger than half of the kings that was there, technically speaking. If he wasn't on his deathbed, they weren't strong enough to beat him.
They couldn't beat him. Yo, but even still, okay, we'll take like Saiyan Saga, okay? Like I said before, none of those
ain't none of them bigger. No, they ain't gonna.
None of these
shows. Nah.
And Yu Yu Hakusho final arc is blowing up a fucking planet.
Nah.
None of them. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they should always, to me, when you make power lists, take DBZ out.
No, I say I don't know why you put DBZ in there.
Because it's already ridiculous with DBZ. And then in DBZ, if you start throwing out all the extra renditions, like if you put it, you don't even want to put in what is the damn game? Dragon Ball Heroes.
Heroes, oh no.
If you even get that universe, it's stupid.
I mean, you ain't got to go that far, because like once you get to the point where you got somebody like look, you got Krillin, right? We always talk about how powerful Krillin is. Like that's the lowest. Krillin is like the base, almost base level you can. Well, maybe Yamcha is like the base level you can get, and Yamcha is fucking up. Yamcha is the base level. He's fucking up a lot of other character shit in a lot of other universes. That's just facts. Like, so if you want to, like, you can't even really compare. Like, Yamcha is the base level. He's better than most characters in other universes post retirement. Like, it's not close. So like, if you really want to talk about like Krillin or somebody being at that level. Like, Krillin is ridiculous. Like, he seems weak, again, because in his universe, a universe where planet destroyers are common, he's on the bottom. But when you put him in, like, the other universes, like, no, Krillin in your universe is destroying everything. Like, he's just that powerful.
Because we already know, Master Roshi would murder.
Yeah, Roshi would murder shit. Like, Roshi's ridiculous. Fucking...
He would be a better comparison.
Roshi would be Roshi would be a better. Actually, you're right. Roshi and Yamcha are probably like some of your better comparisons, or like Chaozu or something like that. But like once you get to like main character level or like semi-main character, like you get to like your Krillin, you get to your Krillins and your Tien Shinhans and your Piccolos. And,
didn't Roshi blow up the moon?
No, that's Piccolo. Roshi did too.
Did it?
Oh yeah,
Roshi did too. That's right. Roshi did it first. Yeah, you're right. Shit. Never mind. I take it back. I forgot about that.
I
forgot about that. Go in that buff mode and throw that comment.
You're right. I forgot about that.
Was gone.
We blew up the moon. Yeah.
Yeah, Piccolo blew up the second moon.
Think about that. Think about what we just said. Like, oh yeah, Roshi blew up the moon. Like, it's just nothing. Like any other series, any other character, it's like, man, the moon is a problem with why Goku's transforming. We got to find a way to make it so Goku can't see the moon. Any other series is like, let's put some shades on them. We got to find a way to like make it so Goku can't go outside at night. Not Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball, like, oh, let's blow up the moon. That's the universe you're comparing to. Like, just blow up the moon. Like, it's nothing. Any other universe, like, what if you just blow up the moon? Are you crazy? No, we're not blowing up the moon. What are you talking about? Dragon Ball, like, I should blow up the moon myself.
This is just
comment.
We just do this on the regular.
Right, yeah, right, exactly. Like, let's do this. This is what we do. We blow up the moon.
Even reach his power level didn't even reach 1,000.
He blew up the moon. Right. And then Piccolo, and the thing about that, Piccolo did it himself. He's like, oh, the moon's a problem. Ha! With no charge up.
Wait, we'll buy.
Right. Ha!
It's a wrap.
Right. And again,
like
this is
blowing up planets with 2 fingers.
Oh, right. Or fucking Nappa. Nappa just like, ah. Oh, everybody dead. Like, yeah, these are what you compare it to when you compare to other series. Like, no, there's not a comparison. What other series can we even compare to Dragon Ball as far as power levels? I don't think there is one. Because Dragon Ball is stupid as far as levels.
Yeah, Dragon Ball is stupid.
It's on a difference.
As much shit as I talk, I love Dragon Ball, but I'm being honest. It's a stupid series. Like,
I'm gonna tell you, the only way you're gonna start getting Dragon Ball to get any comparison to anybody, you got to start going into the depths of the Marvel and DC universe. Where they got the most
Marvel DC. Yeah, you're right. Because like you get to like the Omega levels. Like the Omega level mutants probably could do it. So like your Jean Greys and shit.
Mutants. Yep.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
You gotta literally go against those just astronomically dumb beings they got. That's just like doesn't make sense to exist.
I was thinking about that in the back of my mind. I was like, in my mind, I was thinking in the back of my head, like, Goku or like the likes of Dragon Ball could probably, like, the closest you would get would be Superman, like in the Superman universe, like their characters that could even compete.
Compare Superman with Goku.
That's right. That's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's
which Superman's been written into the script.
This is true.
Superman's a nigga who flies to the sun, dog. Like, just sit there and marinate in the sun.
Right. Like, you know what? I gotta go think for a minute. Let me go here.
You know what? I need to power up to maximum. So I'm gonna fly into the sun and sit there for a while.
Right.
And come out like super Kryptonian. Nobody. Yeah. I'll come out in God mode after a while. Then I'm gonna blow up the sun.
Right.
Even at the end of the day, I think Dragon Ball still got the strongest freaking character to ever live, which is Zeno.
I mean, to be fair, he's literally he's God. Like, he's not gonna.
He's God.
Universe gone.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean, to be fair to that, you've got God
Marvel
characters.
do get characters like that.
Right, I was gonna say
Marvel
and DC both have characters that are basically gods. So it's like if you're comparing, like, yeah, that's I kind of like characters like Zeno and stuff like that, or like fucking
wipe a whole goddamn
yeah.
universe.
I don't count them because they're literally God. It's like, okay, well, clearly they're like, oh, I don't like that universe. It's gone. I'm like, okay, well, you clearly. Yeah. You know, I just like Zeno because it's so hilarious how Beerus reacts to him. Because you thought Beerus was fucking ridiculous, and then Beerus now is like, "Oh shit, Zeno!"
Zeno's all like childlike and stupid.
Right?
Their scaling is just
it's ridiculous. Yeah,
Gods of Destruction.
Gods of Destruction. We didn't even talk about them.
Beerus ain't even fought nobody at a full 100%.
Right.
And in the manga, if you seen him fight the other guys in that tournament before the Tournament of Power, he whooped every freaking other guy.
He was chilling. He was chilling, man. He was like, he dodged everything they threw at him. He's like, okay, that's all you got. He's like, man, I ain't fought in a while. I've been asleep for I don't know how many years. He's like, you guys been active. I've been taking a nap, and this is what you got. You know what I'm saying?
And
so
then the
it's
most insane thing about it is the one that's trained him is much stronger than the angels are on another level.
Angels on the whole level.
The grand priest, he's on another. Apparently, he's on another level of the angels, of course, because he's their superior. And then you got Zeno.
Yeah, like that. Like we can tell level. Like, all right, like the angels are still ridiculous, and like, but yeah, no, like I said, Beerus. I think I've said before, but if I haven't, and I probably should say it, then Beerus is one of my favorite characters in the entire series in recent years. I love Beerus. Even like I know people didn't like the fact that after he had that first fight with Goku, he kind of became less serious. I love that about him. Actually, I love the fact that he's just, insanely. Yeah, he's so lax. He's this insanely powerful god. Yeah, but I like the fact he's insane. He's this insanely powerful god, but at the same time, like. He can get like fucking petrified of like Zeno and shit, and like his reactions and stuff. Like I like that about the fact that Vegeta, who knew who Beerus was, realized that too in the movie when he was like, "Oh shit, Lord Beerus, I gotta serve him." Like, because it kind of gave you an idea of like, okay, this character is ridiculous. If Vegeta of all people was just like, "Don't upset him," I'm like,
dancing and stuff. And, he crossed the line.
Yeah, don't hurt my Bulma. I'm like, oh, okay. That shit was great. That was great though. I like that too because again, it's more.
That was hard.
Yeah, because like on top of that, like for me, I was like, it's more Vegeta character development. Like Vegeta's the most developed character in that entire series. Like, I love that about
it. Totally is. It's funny because he's more of a. He's a main character, but he's like a side. He's the sidekick.
He's the sidekick.
He's the best.
He has more development than the actual main character.
Yeah. He's still to this day. I think Vegeta's like the candle bearer for like rival characters. Like even though, like because I like Sasuke. Unlike a lot of people, I like Sasuke and Naruto, but it's still kind of
Sasuke's dope.
He's kind of like the Vegeta. He's kind of like the Vegeta.
He's like we don't compare him to Vegeta, but at the same time. I didn't like some of his nature. I mean, I get why he was the way he was. But I'm like, okay, I like where he's at now in Boruto. Like, I like him more there. But like, yeah, it's some points in Naruto where I'm like, Sasuke whatever, man, just kill this guy.
Yes, kill him. Yeah, get rid of him.
Just get rid of him. He's just annoying.
Why Naruto worried about him? Let him die.
Right, just let him die. I'm not worried about it.
With Sakura in his arms, let them both die.
Sakura in his arms, let them both die.
Sakura's trash.
Sakura, I'm gonna end on this note because it's about to be over 2 hours. I mean, it is over 2 hours, but I'm gonna end on this note with Sakura. I know this is not nearly what we were talking about before, but I just want to bring this up just to make sure I make this point, which is that Sakura, I like certain things about her being like as strong as she is, but yes, Sakura to me is one of the worst characters I can think of. Not because she's not strong physically, because she's strong physically, and not because of some decisions she made in Naruto, but because of what happened afterwards, which is that even after this man literally tried to kill her.
Kill her,
she was like, well, I guess I have a kid with you. And I'm just like, all right, you just under all your character development. Good old Shonen romance. He stabbed me. Clearly, that means he wants me to have his baby. I'm like, you know what, Shonen writers, I need to listen.
It's that hood woman logic. Like, oh, he says a G. Man, he popped a cap in my knee. I want to have his children. Like, why? He beat you. He just beat you and he slings drugs out of your house. He's like, I don't care. He's for me. That's what Sakura is. Sakura's like, she looked at Sasuke. Sasuke's that local blood from around the corner.
Oh.
And she's like, So I love that. He's like a bad boy. I mean, that's all I did. He was a rebellious bad boy. Even though he wasn't a bad boy, she put that image into her brain, and she was stuck. Cause like Ino would have been in the same situation as Sakura if given the same opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, I'll say this: I like Sakura better now in Boruto. She's still a moron because she's like Sasuke's doing his own thing, sowing his wild oats somewhere. So his wild oats, training. He comes home, gives her like a little pat on the head, and she's all like, "Oh yes," At least all I care about Sasuke coming home and see. All Sasuke got to come do is come home and see his daughter's salad and call it a day, man. Sakura didn't care. Sakura don't care as long as she get a whiff of his Burberry cologne. Sasuke's good. Saying he's not walk by her. She's like, "Oh, I'm good." She's like, "I'm full for the next 3 months. I'll see you in 3 months, honey." And he's like, "Yeah, I gotta go hang with my boy Naruto. He's gonna hang out with the homies." You say? He's like, "I ain't worried about her. I'm gonna go hang out with the homies," and she's okay with it.
Oh man, yeah. I'm like, I'm not. I don't know why you okay with her in Boruto, because like her and Hinata in Boruto, I feel like got the worst end of the stick.
Hinata's a straight housewife. She got the worst end of the stick. But
like, so let me say real quick. I do not mind characters like it's fine if the character that you wrote decides they want to be a housewife or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
I totally get that. But my thing with that is that it's a fucked up stereotype with women, because it's like, well, if you become a housewife or you become a mother, you can't do anything else now. You're stuck in the house. Why is that the thing? Like, it's such a shitty way to do that. Like, she's already. If you think about it, she's probably like the only main female character or noticeable female character kind of like that. Because Sakura still gets out there, even though she's like a housewife. She actually fights in Boruto. She actually gets out there and does. I mean, she's had a couple of fights, but primarily Sakura stays at home and just works as a nurse. But I mean, Sakura's better in that respect a little bit. Right. But she has a whole other host issue. It's just the writer for Naruto and for that series, and is just not really good at like writing female characters, and that's been an issue with Naruto for a minute anyway. Because this is like, I'm not gonna go deep into it because it's a whole nother podcast. Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to bring up about Sakura. I'm like, I just felt like she was in particular is like her getting with her not getting with Naruto made perfect sense. Hinata being with Naruto, I was actually really happy about that. I'm like, okay, this makes sense. But her still getting a child by Sasuke after, I'm like, yo, okay.
But again, that's what she desired from day one, man.
Yeah, I know. It's just, if she had grown as a character, then I feel like that wouldn't have happened. I'm like, this is kind of turned into a shippers episode thing, but I was totally like, yo, he need to get somebody else or whatever. But I'm like, this just makes sense just from a writing standpoint. Like just from a writing standpoint, from a character writing standpoint, it's like, yo, this is. I get that she was happy that he finally did turn back to the right side at the very end of the Naruto storyline, but it was I don't know, it rubbed me the wrong way. That like this character was practically abusive to you, and you were just like, well,
and I get it in reverse to like Naruto. She's like the female version of what Naruto was, and the ambition in Gold. Naruto, you can say the same thing. Sasuke was kind of abusive towards Naruto to an extent, you're saying, to where Naruto could have just dropped his ass.
Yeah, 100%. But Naruto was just friends with him. Naruto was not having kids by him. So obviously, right. That's my thing. Like, her being cool with him, that's fine. I'm like, okay, if y'all cool. She was obsessive in love though. That's my point. That's my point. Like being like, it's not. I don't think it's a good. I don't say lesson. I don't think it's a good way for that to end, for him to get that, and for that to work out that way. Because it's like, man, it's just what are you saying at the end of the day with that? It's like, but. That's just my personal thing. I did not like that at all. I really found that gross, but it is what it is. I just found it gross.
I didn't care for Sakura that much to care about that. Like,
I have issues with Sakura as a character in general. I think her. I do think she's a better character than I gave her credit for in Naruto, as far as power, as far as like ability. But as far as like a character traits and whatnot, I also don't like characters that are like super obsessed with like. They try to make you as a reader feel this obsession with the character that the character does, and I don't necessarily gel with that. It just it just makes me annoyed. I'm like, why do this dude literally tried to kill Karen in front of you, actually stabbed Karen in front of you and then tried to kill you, and you're still like, I can save him, and I'm just like, that brings up some trauma that I've seen play out in life, and I don't like the implication of what that means. But whatever, you do you, manga.
But again, like you said, it is relatable, and not to maybe us, but because it happens a lot in relationships. So it's like, so people who do read it can sit there and see it, even if you don't like it. Even if you don't like it, it's legit. You know what I'm saying? Like her, even though, yes, you're right. You think that she would turn away from somebody who tried to kill her. But to her, she was like, Sasuke wasn't trying to kill her because he didn't like her. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's stupid. I know it's stupid. Yeah. But for her, she didn't see it that way. Like I guess that was a character like Tamari or something like that, or or somebody. Sakura, I was like, it was good. I don't care because it was gonna work that way anyway.
Oh yeah,
all she wanted was a bearish children fruit, and that was it from day one. So she got what she got. You're saying she wanted to be with a guy who was killed her. That's fine because he really wasn't. Afterwards, he wasn't abusive.
No, yeah. Afterwards, yeah. Obviously, like, I don't want to make it sound like he didn't. Like, obviously, clearly he changed.
Even before he left the hidden leaf, he cared for her by punching her in the gut and keeping her from following.
Yeah, no, that totally which I got. That was fine. All that is fine. It's the stuff when he came back after when he's part of what is I forget, Taka? I can't remember the group he made. When they came back and they were assaulting the village, and he literally killed or tried to kill Karen in front of her, and then tried to kill her when they tried to kill each other. And I guess you can write it off as like it's just what the war brought or with everything. I don't know. I didn't feel right about it, but that soured me on a lot of Naruto lore.
I can see that.
But like overall, I have mixed feelings on the Road Warriors series anyway.
Now, real quick, I'll say this. Now, Hinata, I wish they would have like if she's gonna make her a housewife, which to me I feel like it kind of suits her because she wasn't really a battle ready. You say I still would have liked her to be training the kids in a way. I don't know why.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I agree with that. And that's what I mean. Like they made basically she's just like complete homemaker, and I'm like, and again, this is not to say that being a housewife or a homemaker or whatever is like invalid or not a choice you can make. It's just in the context of the village they live in and what they're doing, what their lives are. It really frustrates me that she kind of got put into that position. Considering what power she has and who her children are going to be and who the father is. I'm just like, well, you know what this is going to be. So why does she have to suddenly give up everything as far as fighting as a character, to be in that position? And, but again, that comes down to the writer and just how they write female characters. And, I'm not.
When he's the Hokage, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have someone at home. So I kind of understand that position. Like, if he wasn't Hokage, then I just thought about like the fact that he's
I'm not saying she got to be on missions and nothing like that. It's just I don't know. I really just don't like that.
It's tough. It's tough with that situation, that predicament because of where they're at. Like I said, any other female characters they have the freedom to do that, and like what's his name? Like Tamari has freedom because Shikamaru really doesn't keep her there. She kind of chooses to be there. It seems like. I'm saying like he's actually content. Now Tamari, I'd like to see more out there. Shikamaru's always usually he's there in the village more than Naruto is, a little bit more.
Shikamaru and Tamari are two of my favorite characters from the original series. So like, and Gaara obviously, like Gaara's my favorite character in the entire series. Yeah, so. I don't know, but okay. We passed. Yeah. All right, so we gonna wrap it up there because I didn't mean to drag us into a whole other discussion about Naruto because that was just. When we talked about it, I'm like, I gotta pull that Band-Aid off real quick. But we'll end it there. We'll continue that discussion some other time. This has been a 2.5 hour podcast. So yeah, great. I gotta edit all this. Cool, wonderful, terrific.
Back in the building.
Back in the building. We will probably see you guys. I'm gonna say in 2 weeks. We're gonna keep it bi-weekly because that seems to be the best option. So we'll do this a week from now, or I'm sorry, 2 weeks from now. But yeah, hopefully anybody that's tuning in enjoys this. If this is not up on other services, I'm gonna at the very least I'm gonna put this up on SoundCloud and YouTube. So it's on 2 places. If it's not on other services by the end of October, then holla at me. I'll let everybody know what's going on. But yeah, I'll be posting it. It'll be posted on YouTube. It'll be on SoundCloud in audio form, and then I'll also post those onto my Facebook page. I'll put it up on Twitter and share the links and stuff like that. And everybody can grab when they listen to it when they can listen to it. How you do it, feel free. Yeah, but that's it for us now. Again, we'll see you in 2 weeks. More stuff. I'll be finished watching What If. I'm gonna catch back up on my anime stuff because I got a couple of anime. Like I said, I want to watch and I haven't done it yet. I've been like I said, stuff happened last week, but I've also been pretty busy on projects and like some of that's calmed down now, so I can kind of do that. Yeah, that's about it. Thank y'all for listening, and we will see y'all on the next episode when we do some more stuff and give us our opinions and all that shit. Yeah, bye.
Man, peace.
Later.